Show. This is the Big O 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 Show. This is...
So here's the putting green. See? There you go. Got two flags. One was over there where Cutter's Edge Pro. It's not coming out now. Come on. Come on, wind. Give me a little wind. No, unfortunately. But there you go. And this one says Big O here. There you go. So there's my putting green. It's about, I would say about 25 feet, something like that. I get to practice, have a little fun. See? And then, of course, we got, the bunkers. Got to have the bunkers, man. Got all kinds of bunkers there. You know what I'm saying? So that's a taste of our backyard. There's Maiden right there. Maiden. Bono, how you doing, Bono? Bono. He's a Carolina dog, by the way. These dogs are amazing. Their temperaments are awesome. But there is the Sylvester palm, which is just beautiful. All right, call my guys, Will and Mike at Cutter's Edge Pro. They will take care of you. Dogs are not included, okay? Can't include the dogs. Those are mine. But the exceptional work, oh, baby. Oh, baby. Yes. Make your home an oasis. CuttersEdgePro.com. Go to their Instagram page, by the way, so you can see a lot of the before and after work that they do. And it is exceptional, baby. This thing's been on here for about 9 months. No grass growing through it or anything like that. Right, Bono? Huh? Bono!
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help. Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty, it's a beautiful Tuesday, and we are at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. Second floor poker room. Come on out and join us. Normally it's Thursdays, but today we're headed out to Vegas tomorrow. So we'll do our morning show tomorrow, and then we are out of here, and we're going to Vegas, and we'll be broadcasting at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And Sunday we'll do a pre and post game show from Tommy Rockers in Las Vegas. So you Las Vegas folks out there, come on out, man, and join us. So any Dolphin fan that lives in Las Vegas or in that area, come out to Tommy Rockers. They got good food, by the way. Sean will attest to that they've got good food. It's a great atmosphere. It's a Dolphins bar in Las Vegas. So that's actually going to be cool. So we'll be out here for a couple of hours. If you want to come by and join us, we'll be out here having some fun. Got a loaded show. Saffid Dean is going to join us at 4 o'clock. At 4:30, the great Anthony Chang will stop by. At 5 o'clock, Manny Navarro will join us. Already dropped, Cam Wolf is out there already on the platform, and so is Ira Winderman. So those interviews are in. You can check those out. So you've got that going on. I see Steve Chapman is first in the house. There we go. -2 positive says not a dog person, but they are beautiful. Well, what can I tell you? Dogs are the best out there, man. There's nothing like doggies. Love my doggies. Gus 1388. Brian Walters is in. That's right. Smash the hell out of that like button. Says Big O, me and my mom got new Tua t-shirts today. I have my old ones since the start or since April of 2020. A nice job by you, sir. There you go. You got to load up on the Tua gear. Tua became a representative of Perry Ellis. It was announced today, Perry Ellis and Tua. That's what's going to start rolling in for Tua now. Okay, the sponsorships are going to start rolling in. And it's interesting. We talk about, well, we got to see Tua stay healthy, right? To feel good about all of this, right? Well, it looks like advertisers are also saying, "Hey, man, we gotta get on the Tua train." They saw the dance in the end zone. They saw 70 points. They see that he's the number one rated passer in the NFL. All of us. Plus, he's a phenomenal young man. He's a perfect young man, to be quite honest. Okay, and that should automatically end up happening where he's going to end up in Perry Ellis and Tua. That's just like a classy clothing company for men and a classy dude. And that's going to be a lot of fun to watch how he's going to grow in that area, because the idea is, see, Flo was that terrible father or mother that doesn't really encourage their kids, is kind of like berating them all the time and ripping into them and that kind of stuff. So he was a bad parent that really didn't know how to actually raise a child. You know what I'm saying? And so here, you got to have an environment. One of the things, my dad, rest in peace, he was always encouraging me on whatever I wanted to do. He would then get behind me on whatever it is. It didn't matter. If I wanted a skateboard, he'd buy me a skateboard and, drop me off at a skate park. If anything, motocross, whatever. If I wanted to be a pilot, and in his deathbed, when I told him, I'm getting into radio, and he was, always like that. He was never about ripping into me unless I deserved it and I did something stupid, which of course I did plenty of that as a kid. And then, us old school people, we don't have a problem with a lot of when we would get ripped or whatever, because usually we deserved it and we knew it. It's kind of like, that's the difference, I think, with young people nowadays. It's kind of like they think they don't deserve any kind of criticism or any kind of, beat down. Obviously, now you can't even do it. But back in the day, boy, you got your share of beat downs. You know what I'm saying? So you got to grow. And he didn't have the environment to grow. In comes Mike McDaniel. Tua has the environment to grow, to flourish, so he can actually use his talents and his skills. You're going to do the same thing to your child if you're berating them and not giving them any kind of encouragement, because then they're never going to find their path, because they're going to be afraid to test anything because of the ridicule and because you're not encouraging, unless they get away from you and then they feel free that they can actually go and do what they want and they can kind of grow. And that's what's happened with Tua. Tua always had this ability, he always was going to be a terrific player, but you can kill a terrific player if you actually don't nurture the relationship. You're going to kill that plant if you don't nurture the relationship by giving it water. You're going to kill that relationship with your dog if you're just kicking it in the side and throwing it in a corner and never giving it any love. You know what I mean? How's the dog going to feel ever wanted? One of the things, any of us that have adopted dogs, and we've adopted many already at this point, the first couple of days or weeks, maybe it might roll into a month or 2 months. It might. The dog is very tentative. You ever adopted a dog? And when they come into a new home, aren't they tentative? Aren't they worried? And they don't know what to do, this, that, all that. And then, obviously, if you're a loving home, you're encouraging them to do all kinds of stuff and giving them love and all that. And then before you know it, the dog has completely changed, and that's happened to us where we've had dogs they were in shelters, Flashy, who's no longer with us. That poor dog, when we brought him home, he was so scared. In fact, when we tried to grab him in the cage, he went back to the corner of the cage because he just didn't know. He didn't know who's grabbing him. He's just there, and all he hears is 100 other dogs barking and all that. So his experience, he must have been terrified. He just never really got love until we picked him up and held him and petted him and kept making him feel that, okay, you're home, you're fine, you're good. And then the dog grows. And all of a sudden, instead of staying in a corner for a while, now he's roaming all over the place. You know what I mean? Now he's more confident about everything and coming to you and all that kind of stuff. Anybody that's adopted dogs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You usually are bringing home a shell-shocked child. Okay? And then you've got to nurture that child. And this is what's happened with Tua. Mike McDaniel came in, and instead of using the flow style, he said, no, man, this kid's got talent. Let's bring it out of him. Let's watch him grow. And then now he's grown. He's allowed to be himself. He's allowed to roam around the house. He's like that dog that got adopted. And he's roaming around the house, and now he feels comfortable. Like, this is my home. Now I feel comfortable. I can do anything I want. I can even bark at people now that are outside there because this is my home. These people love me. They're right behind me all the time. Dog feels different. Tua feels different. Tua grows as a player, and now you're going to see all this other stuff. He grows. He's allowed to be the leader of the team. People then follow. You saw Armstead's response in the locker room, how much he loves Tua, and he's done this many times already over. You know what I mean? But again, you got to give people the opportunity to be themselves so they can grow. And this is what we're watching now with Tua. And I'm sure the sponsors are going to be lining up because he's an exceptional human being, besides being one hell of a football player and one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. And this is all going to be really gratifying to watch for him personally, that he is allowed to do his thing. And I think a lot of you have experienced what Tua has experienced in different times in your life when you didn't get that kind of support. You know what I mean? So I saw that today with Perry Ellis, and I thought that was actually pretty cool for Tua Tagovailoa. What else do we have here on the chat board? Steven Gonzalez is in. I see the days pass by less. I think Dame's coming. Oh, what do you think? By less, I think. No, it's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen. Guaranteed it'll happen. Money in the bank, it'll happen. It's the only thing that can happen. And that's all. Eventually, they'll come to their senses and they'll make the move that they have to make. Aaron Hernandez is in. Says, good afternoon, Finn family. Good to see you, Big O. Sunday getting closer. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Las Vegas getting closer. Says, Big O, you were right about Coward. Yesterday, he stated that no GM would take Tua over Herbert. What a knucklehead. Well, the GM here took him. So it was a ballsy move by Chris Greer because of the injury stuff, not because of the play. That's for some of you out there that never thought he could play or whatever. That's silliness. I always knew he was a player. The gamble was, can he stay healthy? That's it. That was the gamble, not whether he can play. The dude's a player, man. Stetson O is in. Cristo Mayock says dogs are the best they are. Crema de la Clutch Exotics. Okay. Also booking my Vegas ticket and room for the Dolphins Super Bowl appearance. There you go. There you go. Old school Cubans, man. J-Town says, I'm feeling pretty good, oh. What we're experiencing gives all Dolphin fans hope that we'll be playing in February, an amazing feeling that I haven't felt in a very long time. Yeah, man. They have the potential of doing anything and everything that they want in the playoffs and leading into the Super Bowl. They just got to keep putting it together and stay consistent. The beauty is what happened last year. While it sucked for all of us, the Tua injuries and the secondary and it started with Jones from the beginning of the offseason, with Byron Jones. So the news was terrible from the beginning all the way through the end. But because of all of that, that's the wake-up call that's going to keep them focused. Some guy asked me on DM today, do you think there's any chance they'll have a letdown against the Bills? I said, there's no way. Those guys lost a playoff game that they should have won, and they know it. Those guys lost 2 out of 3 when they should have won all 3, and they know it. Mike McDaniel knows he was running the hell out of the ball, and he shouldn't have stopped against the Buffalo Bills. Braylon Sanders knows he should have kept running for that touchdown. Tyreek Hill and, Trent Sherfield's no longer here, but they dropped touchdowns. There are a lot of things. The coach didn't get plays in on time. How's he doing now? Plays are coming in on time. They got a flow going on now, and not that flow. Anything but that flow. You know what I'm saying? No letdown. They'll be ready. They are the real deal, and I think they know exactly what happened to them last year, falling short. And I think they want to make sure that when they get to the playoffs, they're ready to go and they're ready to roll. And they got better depth this year. They're healthier this year, and they're still not 100% healthy. I don't even know if they'll ever get 100% healthy, because by the time Jalen Ramsey comes back, don't you think there might be another player or two missing also? It's stinking football, dude. People get injured, but you can't have 10 injuries like last year that just crippled the team. You can't do that. Can't do that. So if they get the luck, there will be no letdown. They're going to play their asses off. And Tua is motivated. Mike McDaniel should be motivated. The offense and the defense should be motivated. So I don't expect anything. I don't expect any letdown. I expect this team to go in there hungry to beat the Bills. Big O, I finally saw Hans and Franz, and I finally know where it's from. Hilarious. Oh, Saturday Night Live, you found it? I am Hans, and I'm Franz, and we're here to pump you up. Yes. Christo says, you got my heart, oh, dog lover. Damn right. Damn right. Dogs will twist your heart around all over the place, won't they? Isaiah's in. Let's see. Giovanni in. And Emilio says, Dimelo, can't wait till Sunday. I believe we will win. So do I. I definitely believe that they will win. Baptist Health of South Florida, by the way. We love the folks at Baptist Health. I know the Alzagari family loves. They saved me with my heart condition when I needed 5 stents in my heart and my chest was tightening, and my wife took me to Baptist, and they were there for us. Like when I took my wife there to deliver our daughter, my wife broke her jaw, fixed at Baptist Health of South Florida. Recently, I got a colonoscopy, which, by the way, again, I encourage. Look, you've got the QR code there. If you've got some kind of an injury and it's stopping you from doing the things you love, folks, man, you don't have to be a professional athlete to go where the pros go. Actually, the doctors at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care can see you now, folks. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to request an appointment and get yourself back in the game. So if you're dealing with some kind of knee injury, shoulder injury, something like that, and get some help from Baptist Health, and they'll get you back on track. They've helped us in the Alzagari family in many different ways, folks. And they are the sports medicine provider for the Miami Heat, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami, FIU, FAU, Orange Bowl, Miami-Dade County Public Schools, Miami Open Tennis, and Miami Marathon. baptisthealth.net/ortho. All right. Hey, let's get into our 3A Graphics sports calendar and reach out to our friends, Alan Blanco there, 786-618-1443. That's 786-618-1443. 1443. They're at 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. Custom printing and embroidery. So if your club, your team, your business, corporation, whatever it is, fantasy team, you're looking for embroidery or anything else, custom printing, flyers, all kinds of stuff, reach out to the great people at 3A Graphics, and they will take care of you. 980 West 22nd Street in Hialeah. Today, by the way, the Miami Marlins get back in action. They're on the road to take on the Mets. Braxton Garrett taking on Joey Lucchesi. And Lucchesi's 3-0 with a 2.88 ERA. Now, Garrett has pitched well. He's 9-6 with a 3.53 ERA. As you all know, one game behind the Cubs. It is a must-win for them. Cubs, by the way, are at the Braves. So the Cubs have an incredibly difficult task against the Braves. So, huh? Oh, yeah. So Diamondbacks. Yeah, who are the Diamondbacks playing? I forgot. But either way, one game behind. They just got to keep taking care of business, and hopefully, things will fall in place. Tomorrow, 8:30, U.S. Open Cup, Inter Miami and Houston. Inter Miami, by the way, favored in this one, minus 120 on the money line. Houston is plus 265 on the money line. Half a goal spread for Inter Miami, minus 125. If Messi's playing, I like that. I like the money line bet. 120 is not too bad, and I'd lay the half a goal with Inter Miami. I think they're going to win. Yes, sir. White Sox, Astros. So do the Astros have anything to play for anymore? I don't know. I don't think so, right? Because they've got don't they have the best record in the majors or second best? Oh, no, it's the Braves, then them, right? I think it is. Braves won them too. But either way, they're not in their league. I don't think they're playing for anything. No, they're not, right? Yeah. So, okay. That's not good. Anyway, so you've got that tomorrow at 8:30. Thursday, Lions and Packers. Lions are favored by 1 at Green Bay. Over and under is 45 points. And then on Sunday, you've got the Dolphins and the Bills. The Bills are favored by 2.5. Over and under is 53.5. The Dolphins are plus 114 on the money line, and the Bills are minus 135. Personally, I'm taking the points, and I'm taking the money line. I think the Dolphins are going to win this game. That's just me. But that's your 3A Graphics sports calendar. And make sure you reach out to the people that support our platform. I'm actually going to be picking up some new shirts for our show from them. I think this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon. I forgot. I gotta call them. What's that?
Shows how much we pay attention to baseball, huh? They're in the wild card race.
Who?
The Astros.
They fell that badly?
86 and 71.
Wow. I thought they were up there.
They are a game and a half ahead of Seattle. So that's actually, no, I think they're
so they have plenty to play for.
Let's see. Tampa Bay's in the wild card. Toronto, they're the third wild card right now. A game and a half behind.
So they have the last wild card spot.
Yeah. But it's close because it's a game and a half, and there's 6 games left. So I don't know when they clinch it or what. It
shows how half-ass I follow.
It's Seattle. Seattle is the team that's following that. That's trying to get that third wild card spot in Houston right now.
Who's the number 1 seed in the American League right now?
Hold on. Baltimore has 97 wins.
Baltimore
and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has 95 wins. They're a wild card because
that's right. Baltimore did get super hot in the second half, dude. They were kicking. They've been kicking ass, Baltimore.
Yeah, it's funny. Just when I started looking at it, I was like, wow, shows how much we've been paying attention.
Yeah, it's the sad part about the Marlins. They have, and I wanted to talk about this a couple of days ago or last week, I think it was, that I was thinking about it. But nobody cares that much about baseball. And by the way, yes, that's what I was exactly. They talked about expansion, that once Tampa gets their stadium, every team would have a new stadium, and then they can talk expansion. And so Nashville, and there's a couple of cities that they talked about that might be interested in a baseball team. Nashville, Portland, Austin maybe, or some. No, Vegas is getting the A's. They're relocating. I forgot the cities, but either way, it doesn't matter. Whatever. To me, first of all, expand baseball. I don't know what it is, but I'm wondering where's the attention coming from because I never sense it anywhere. Yeah, sure, in New York and in Boston and in Chicago, you got a couple cities that they love baseball and they'll talk about it, but not a big deal. Who is it?
All right, so it looks like Nashville is the clear-cut favorite for one team. The second city remains wide open between, listen to this, this is hilarious, Montreal.
Oh, that's right, Montreal.
Salt Lake City.
Right.
Portland. Charlotte. Are you ready for it?
Okay.
Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland's got no shot. They'll never get a team ever again. They're not a big league. They're not a big league town. Oakland is minor league. But baseball and Marlins have killed my interest in baseball. I got to be totally honest with you on that. They are the culprits that has taken out my emotion for baseball because I have no hope for them. So it's like I already got tired of investing my emotions in the Marlins. So I watch them, but I really don't care that much about them as much as I used to. You know what I mean? Because I know they don't care about us. They're not really trying. They're kind of half-ass trying. You know what I'm saying? And so I saw that expansion stuff, and I'm thinking, this is silly, dude. That sport isn't growing anymore. That sport is declining in interest. Why would you expand? But whatever, But I blame the Marlins for my loss of love for baseball now. I don't love the sport anymore. I've said that in the past, and I was thinking about that the other day, and I was going, I really don't love baseball. I shouldn't say that anymore. I don't love baseball anymore. I haven't loved baseball in a while, if I'm really honest. It's hard. Marlins don't love me back. You know what I mean? They don't try. They don't care. Let's see. Emilio says, Dimelo O, can't wait till Sunday. Skyler says, Big O, Tannehill has 1 touchdown and 3 games. That's consistent. Big O, Roger Goodell got the word last week. A trainer in the Dolphins facility slipped the players some nature B. They've been investigating it, LOL, from that ass whooping against the Broncos. Plenty of energy, that's for sure. Alex Palenzuela says, I care about the Marlins. I got a 20-game package next season and want to 25 this year. Well, you're one of the few, my brother. Yeah. Yeah, I can't feel the same way about the Marlins. They've got to actually really make a real commitment to giving a shit about winning year in and year out to get me back on track. True Fin Fan says, bad accident at work. Broke my scalp and fractured my nose. I got lucky today, guys. God is good. Holy shit, True Fin Fan. Broke my scalp. Damn, brother, prayers. Quick recovery. Jesus Christ, dude. Damn. Bro, get better. Man. Holy moly. Wow. That's just broke my scalp. Damn. That sounds nasty, bro. That sounds scary as hell, is what that sounds. Damn. Hang in there, True Fin Fan. Holy shit, dude. Whew, wow. Let's see. We got Saffid Dean will join us at the top of the hour. Anthony Chang at 4:30. Manny Navarro at 5 o'clock. Let's see. Bitcoin right around 26,000. Pretty steady overall. The regular markets, well, the Dow is way up. It's up 400. I mean, it's way down 435 points. That's wow. The Dow is down 435 points, and Bitcoin hasn't moved at all. Probably, it's decoupled, I think, from the market. S&P is down 70 points, almost 71 points, and the NASDAQ is down 0.75 of a point. Wow, that is a huge loss for the Dow. Man, that's nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. I know that the altcoins have been, and I just saw where Chase Bank is not going to allow you to use their banks to buy Bitcoin. Chase Bank. So you can't use Chase Bank to buy Bitcoin. Meanwhile, JP Morgan is loading up on Bitcoin behind the scenes. Their European arm is the one that's buying all of the Bitcoin. This is, I mean, I know most of you don't follow this and all that kind of stuff, but man, they love to keep you stupid and they love to do evil crap to us, man. And it doesn't matter who it is, what side, what color. Yeah, it doesn't matter, red or blue. It doesn't matter. You guys, most of you are kind of lost when it comes to that. But this is a trip, dude. Chase Bank is telling its customers you can't buy Bitcoin with our bank money. Meanwhile, they're behind the scenes loading up on millions and billions of Bitcoin with your money, by the way. That if you're a Chase Bank client, they're using your money to buy Bitcoin. This is such a dirty world, dude. I mean, the stuff that they pull, it is just crazy, crazy stuff. Anyway, so you guys can look in on it on your own, and you can figure it out if you want. Let's see. I see Tesla's coming to Immokalee, baby. I just saw Tesla on the road. Where was it that I saw Tesla that I was on the road? What was my last trip? Where did I last go? No, but it wasn't. No, not the Montreal, Quebec trip. It was somewhere else that I went. And I saw Tesla. Anyway, so, huh? Canton, exactly. Thank you very much. That's it. In Canton, in Ohio, I saw Tesla. They just signed. They're coming down here to Immokalee. So that's actually pretty cool. Journey, by the way, has got a little music and entertainment for you, for those of you that keep up with it a little bit. As you know, we are absolute music freaks on this show. But Journey is touring with Toto. And Journey is coming to Amerant Bank Arena. Amerant Bank Arena, which is the old BB&T Center where the Panthers play, February 12th. Right, usually, right. It was the FLA Live Arena. Exactly, sir. So if you are a Journey fan, or, I've never seen Toto ever. And I know it's not, although Luthiker is still there. Steve, the main person of the band is still there. But some of the other singers aren't there anymore. One of them can't sing anymore because he's, obviously did a little too much, how can I say, entertainment in his day, and his voice is pretty much shot. But this version of Toto still sounds great. I really want to go to that concert. I mean, I love watching Journey because Neil Sean just shreds, and actually, Arnel Pineda does an excellent job overall. I do have to say that. I would like to see this Journey one more time, but especially with Toto opening up, I think that's actually a pretty cool thing. And then Stevie Nicks has also announced she is touring too. So if you're a Stevie Nicks fan, Nicks has some dates for you also. She will be at Hard Rock Live on February 24th. All right. And it's only a couple extra dates. She announced Atlantic City, February 10th, New Orleans, February 28th. Any of our friends in Arlington, March 9th, Omaha, March 3rd, Belmont Park in New York, February 14th. So those are some of the dates that Stevie Nicks announced. And then Elvis Costello. And I'm actually really looking forward to this. I saw Elvis Costello. Last time I saw Elvis Costello was in Providence at this classic theater in Providence. It was really, really nice, dude. You can tell it's one of those theaters that's refurbished and it's, back from the 40s and the 50s, that kind of theater. And the acoustics were amazing. And Elvis Costello is that guy that back in the early 80s, he annoyed me somewhat on MTV. It's weird, right? And then I think it was more kind of his voice. And then I kind of got used to it and then obviously appreciated the hell out of the music and the lyrics. And then I got to really like him as the years went on. By the late 80s and 90s, I already became like an Elvis Costello fan. And I've always been a fan of Elvis Costello since. But I kind of dropped the ball early on, I got to say. But anyway, if you're in Tallahassee, he'll be there January 10th, Clearwater, January 11th, Miami Beach at the Fillmore on the 12th, and then in Miramar Beach. Can you look this up? Because I could not look it up at the moment. I didn't have time. I did so many things today. It's called the 30A Songwriters Festival Grand Boulevard. 30A Songwriters Festival. It's in Miramar. And now, if it's a festival and he's there, he's on the outdoor stage. It says the 30A, the number 30 and A together, Songwriters Festival in Miramar Beach. Who else is there in that festival? By the way, he's in New Orleans on the 16th of January, Houston, Texas on the 17th, Dallas, Texas on the 19th, Austin on the 20th, San Antonio the 22nd, Kansas City the 25th, St. Louis 26th, Nashville 29, Atlanta 30, Durham 31, and Wilmington on February 2nd. All right. Fort Walton Beach. Why do they have Miramar there? They put Miramar Beach, so it's in Fort Walton Beach. Oh, okay. All right, so that's not close. Yeah, 30A Songwriters. Yeah. Oh, 2023. Well, it's 2024. 2024, what we're looking at. So I'd like to, because if it's a festival and he's there, what else is there? And although Fort Walton Beach is a little bit of a drive, if that's where it's at, because they've got Miramar on that thing. Let me give you, might as well, since we're in music, right? Let's do it. We always do the birthdays. Let's go with the birthdays on the 26th. Who is celebrating birthdays today? Let's go with Serena Williams is 42. Olivia Newton-John was born on this date in 48. We lost her in 2022, as you all know. Alicia Weir, actress, is 14. Let's see. Reality stars. Christina Milian, she is 42. Wrestler Damian Priest. Is that real? He's 41. No. Oh, it's Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. Senior Money in the Bank. Does he then say D-Monet? D-Monet. Does anybody know what that line is from? Let's see. Who else is celebrating a birthday? Manny Montana. The actor is 40 years old today. Johnny Appleseed. They got here. Yeah, right. He was born in 1774. We lost him in 1845. Damn. They even put Johnny Appleseed here as a birthday. That's hardcore right there, dude. Let's see who else. Not necessarily Johnny Appleseed makes it strong. Jim Caviezel. That's from what was the name of that show that had Marjorie was it P whatever her name and that guy, God, a missing person of interest. Jim Caviezel. He's also in that Sounds of Freedom, that movie. Jim Caviezel, he's 55 today. Linda Hamilton of the Terminator movies. She is 67 years old today. So those are famous birthdays today. Music history. Today in music history, in 1979 on this date, The Clash released their first single in America, the cover of the Bobby Fuller Four's I Fought the Law and the Law Won. Failed to chart when it first came out. In 81, Bruce Dickinson, the former singer of Samson, joined Iron Maiden. In 95, AC/DC released their 12th studio album. Rick Rubin produced it, Ballbreaker. In 2000, Good Charlotte released their self-titled debut album. In 99 on this date, Deep Purple played at London's Royal Albert Hall, accompanied by the London Symphony Orchestra. The show would come out next year as a live album. In 2004, on this date, Green Day had their first ever UK #1 when American Idiot topped the British charts. So there you go, baby. Music history. Music historia. Got it?
All right, so Miramar Beach looks like it's in Fort Walton Beach.
Oh, okay.
Still the same.
Oh, I see. So it's not Miramar. It's just called Miramar Beach in Fort Walton.
Yeah, and they got Jeff Tweedy, Elvis Costello and the Imposters, Roseanne Cash, KT Tunstall. And then they say legends like Rodney Kroll, Steve Earle, Matthew Sweet, over 280 performances, 180 songwriters. Oh, you know what? Okay, hold on a minute.
Okay.
So it looks like there's 30 venues along 30A, ranging from the intimate indoor spaces to large outdoor amphitheaters. But right now, Fort Walton's the only one they're showing. So maybe they're coming.
Okay.
Maybe it's a tour within Florida.
But is it the same date that I gave you?
Oh, what was the date you just said?
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry. It was.
Hold on. I gotta actually now go backwards because I erased it. So no, I don't have it here.
This is for January 12th through the 15th.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I think I wrote it here actually. Elvis Costello was Miramar was the 14th, so it was the 15th of January, the next day.
This says from the 12th through the 15th.
Okay.
The highway is 30A. The highway is called 30A, so it's all the beaches along 30A, which I guess is still in Fort Walton Beach. It's just different venues throughout that area. Sorry.
Okay, and so he'll be on the 15th performing. That's what it is.
Yeah, it doesn't have broken down here. Just throws them on a group of who's going to be there, the star-studded lineup.
Okay. Glad I don't bank with Chase, so they won't allow money transfers to a Bitcoin exchange. Trying to process that. No, the best part, J-Town, is that JP Morgan is sitting there buying the shit out of Bitcoin in Europe. You know, that's the part that's amazing. So they don't want Americans to buy it because, of course, you know, they want the banking system is crumbling. The dollar is crumbling. So they're doing anything and everything to try to, you know, save it and screw the American public, you know. And so this is why they don't want Bitcoin, you know, and eventually it'll take over whether they like it or not. You know. So what's that? Who's JP Morgan? What was their explanation? Read it for me.
Alrighty, so it says British retail bank Chase will ban crypto transactions made by customers from October 16th due to an increase in fraud and scams. We've seen an increase in the number of crypto scams targeting UK consumers, so we've taken the decision to prevent the purchase of crypto assets on a Chase credit debit card or by transferring money to a crypto site from a Chase account. And then Chase has become the latest lender in the UK to restrict customers' access to crypto.
Again, all lies. All lies. All lies. There is zero dirtiness with Bitcoin. There's nothing wrong with crypto, period. What the dirtiness has been with exchanges, with DeFi platforms. There's nothing wrong with Cardano. Bitcoin doesn't split. Ethereum has never crashed. Polygon is as strong as it's ever been. There's no hacking, nothing. That's the problem. But since 95% of the world knows nothing about crypto, they can put that stuff out and most people will just let it go by because they don't follow it and they don't care and they don't know. But the corruption is not It's on the FTX site, not Bitcoin. Bitcoin has never been hacked. It's 14 years in, never been hacked. You can't hack it. You can't get through it. It's impossible. You know why? You got to get to the first transaction, and it's secured blocks every time and sealed blocks. Once you solve once you've done the transaction, it's a mathematical formulation that is solved by the computer, and then it's blocked and it's sealed. That's it. And there have been trillions of transactions now. So you have to start from the back end of the latest transaction and hack that one and hack all the other ones till you get to Bitcoin all the way to the first. You can't do it. It's impossible. And this is why governments all over the world, because the English gave us the same banking system we all have. Everybody has the same terrible fractionalized banking system where you go and deposit your $100, and then they go and grab that $100 and they go invest $99.50 of it. And they keep 50 cents of your money. Okay? I've told you the stat before. Let me give you because I have it written here, just so you'll know, like to freak people out. Okay. You know how they tell you FDIC insured? Okay. Listen to this. Okay. FDIC, they have $125 billion to insure your money. Do you know how much of your money is in banks? 9.5 trillion. 9.5 trillion of our money is in banks, and they have 125 billion to secure that. You do the math. It's not enough. It's not even close. So what they're going to do, open up the printer and just print and print and print and print and print and print. It's the only thing they can do. And then what does that do to the dollar? Boom. Crashes the value. That's fractionalized banking for you. And that's what's going on in our country. That's what's going on in England. That's what's going on in France, because the English started this, and then obviously we're from the English. We picked up a lot of their habits and all that crap, and so we have the same terrible banking system that is crumbling all over the world. It just crumbles faster in Colombia and Argentina and in Brazil because they're weaker. You got it, baby. Be good. So, all right, what do you got there? George, where is he? George, would you recommend to buy crypto? Who do you recommend? This is what look, you can buy it from Binance. I buy it all the time from crypto.com. I use crypto.com religiously. But what I do is I buy and then I transfer out into my cold wallet. And that's what you need to do. You can't keep it on the exchange. Even though crypto.com has never had any issues, but I still would not keep my coins there. I would move it. Again, get a cold storage wallet. Okay? All right? From a Trezor to a Tangent to whatever that's up to you, whatever you think is right for you, but please get a cold storage wallet. Okay? It's very important that you do that. Where you buy is not that important. Just don't store it there. Move it right away. And make sure wherever you buy, it has a bridge to move it right away. If you don't have a bridge to move your coins off the exchange, you do not buy anything from them at all. Crypto.com, I think like 99% of the coins they sell all have bridges to get off. By the way, they are now building one for Kadena. So anybody that's into Kadena, they're in the middle of it. The bridge is not done yet, but Kadena is at such a great price right now. I've loaded up on more Kadena now that some of these altcoins have taken such a blow. So anyway, let's see. What else do we have? Dolphins just scored again. Yes, they did. R.I.P. David McCullum, a.k.a. Ilya Kuryakin. Oh, yes, the man from Uncle. Yes, I saw that. Yes, I saw that. Big O saw Yes in 1980. Oh, nothing wrong with that, my brother. You saw one hell of a band in those days. I saw that version of Yes a couple years after, but then I saw the one with Trevor Rabin also. And to me, that was also a great version of Yes. The version that's now with Steve Howe, it's all right, but it's not. I know John Anderson is touring on his own, and I would see that. But the one with Steve Howe is, it's all right. It's all right. If you're a Yes fanatic, then you'll probably, like a man Greer, buddy of mine, who is a big Yes fanatic. By the way, Cutter's Edge Pro, you're seeing it there. William, Mike, all the great people out there, man. They are just absolutely phenomenal at Cutter's Edge Pro. They've been at this for a long time, man. They've got over 70 trucks. They service all of South Florida. People call Cutter's Edge Pro when it comes to big time businesses. Call them when there's storm damage and trees everywhere. Cutter's Edge Pro is the people you call when you need to really lift your home up and you want to add landscaping, which of course adds value to your home. And if you do the same thing we did with our backyard, you kind of create an oasis. And that's kind of what it is. Now we get to hang out in our backyard. I never hung out in my backyard because it was just grass there and the dogs just went back there and just took a dump and that's it. Now we've got a putting green on the side. So my wife and I, my daughter, we go out there on weekend nights and stuff like that, have some fun, putt a little bit. Then we've got the artificial turf in the back for the dogs. Super easy. It is a pleasure to maintain because there's almost nothing to do. Okay. It always looks phenomenal. And then we've got all the trees and and it's been now over a year and the trees have grown so much. So as time goes on, we're building more and more shade for the backyard. So it's awesome. We got this Sylvester tree in the middle. And I swear to you, you step under that tree and it drops 20 degrees. And it's a beautiful thing when you're able to do that, man. And Cutter's Edge Pro can do that for you. We've got a beautiful Sylvester palm in our front yard. Also, go check it out. Cutter's Edge Pro, synthetic turf, irrigation, landscaping, outdoor lighting, tree trimming and removals, all of that. So if you happen to have any trees or branches that are hitting some wires or on the roof or anything, don't go crazy and doing stuff that can hurt you. Call professionals, insured professionals. Okay, because Cutter's Edge Pro is fully insured. If anybody gets injured on your property, you will not get sued. So if you don't hire Cutter's Edge Pro or EJD Construction, please make sure whoever you do hire, that they're fully insured, because if they get injured on your property, they can sue you. CuttersEdgePro.com and check them out on Instagram, and you can see some of the work there. Amazing work. Brett Dodger says, I was lucky enough to see Yes in their prime in the 70s, close to the Edge tour with the original members. That is amazing. Dolphins have the perfect season, 1972, and the perfect game, 2023. Not too shabby. There you go. Just need another Super Bowl, bro. A Chan. Is it a Chan? Not a chain. A Chan, right? Is that how he said it was? Bengals front office says they don't care about their franchise QB and they're going to risk their future for some wins in September. I got to tell you, watching that game, he continues to take a beating, and now that he's getting the money, as I've told you, I think I mentioned this before. Let's see how they handle everything else. He's not known to spend. So is he really going to spend to give Joe Burrow what he needs to win? By the way, Joe Burrow needs stuff to win. Just so you guys know, it's not a Tua thing. It's not a Marino thing. It's every quarterback in the world. Because, I remember you idiots. Oh, does Tua need a perfect team? Well, guess what, moron? Everybody needs a damn good team in order to win. You think John Elway? So did John Elway have the perfect team in the 80s? No, that's why he got his ass kicked every single time. Did John Elway have the perfect teams in the mid-90s? Yeah. That's why he won back-to-back championships. Because even John Elway needs the team, needs a defense, needs a running game. He didn't have a defense, didn't have a running game. You weren't going to win with that defense and Sammy Winder as your running back in those days. Everybody needs it. You need that help. So I don't know if Joe Burrow is going to get the help he really needs because I don't trust the Bengals. I don't trust Mike Brown. I mean, Sean, what did I say 2 years ago when they made the Super Bowl? Did I not say, is this Ken Anderson and Boomer Esiason all over again? That you show up for a Super Bowl and then you never show up again. And if you remember, that's exactly what I said. He didn't remember for a moment, and then when I started saying, he goes, "Oh yeah, he started repeating word for word." So that's my problem with Joe Burrow, and he takes a beating, brother. Boy, this guy, the Rams guy. Oh no. Matthew Stafford. Holy shit, did he take a beating yesterday? But he took some. But he's old. Like, no, I get it. You're right. Yeah, you're right. Joe Burrow took a beating also, but man, I felt bad for Matt Stafford. Like, well, he just signed an extension. He'll be through 36 years old. And right as he's saying that, they wallop his ass. And I'm like, that man ain't gonna make it to 35 or 36. Wow, God. And how about this? You watch Eagles and Bucks 25-11 and Rams and Bengals 19-16. Bengals win. And then you watch the Dolphins offense, right? I mean, I'm sitting there going, oh my God. I'm watching this shit and it's so bad, you know? And it's amazing to me how bad it is. I mean, terrible, dude. Ugly. And I'm like, wow, you after watching the Dolphins, this is like a disaster to watch, you know? And if Miami can play decent defense against the Eagles, I'm sorry, right? There's some off there, right? Maybe they're kind of figuring out Jalen Hurts a little bit. He's not accurate, by the way.
As long as you get hold of him, then don't get him to 3rd and 1. Then they do that butt push play. Then
right, exactly. Yeah, keep them in the second and third and long.
Yeah,
and you'll
don't get the butt push. The butt push they got down to a T.
Yeah,
but everything else is something's off. There's just a little bit of timing here and there. Just something. There's just something off in Philly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. So yeah, man, it's nuts, dude. It's absolute nuts. Just you get a quarterback and you're not going to take. Well, Andrew Luck. Same shit. Same thing. You know what I mean? And they're not going to sign T. Martin. Not T. Martin. T. Higgins. I'm sorry. T. Higgins. They're not going to sign T. Higgins. They can only sign one of the two receivers. They're not going to sign both of them. There's no way I will bet anything that Mike Brown's cheap ass will not sign both. Okay? They will trade T. Higgins before anything else, if they can. If not, then they'll let him walk or tag him or something. But they're not going to give both guys long-term contracts. There's no way, absolute no way. By the way, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and of course we keep 100% of the donation there. You can do a super chat, but we only get 70 there because YouTube ends up keeping 30% of it, which is just wrong in every way possible. Let's see. U.S. Congress members have asked SEC Chair Gary Gensler to approve the spot coin Bitcoin ETF. He's Biden and Warren and those clowns they're the ones holding all that stuff back. They're the ones that have Gary Gensler on a leash. So, Big O, in China, deposits are not required to open a bank account. Well, listen, man, China's got some other issues that you have to worry about when it comes to your freedoms and choices that you make and all that. They are allowing their residents now to get into crypto. We're going to fall so behind. I feel bad for Americans overall. You know what I mean? I'm on the bandwagon, so I'm leading the bandwagon. I'm not trusting anything these people are telling me. I know that eventually those of us that have invested in Bitcoin, we're going to come out on top. I know it in my heart. I can see exactly what the hell is going on. Big O, I'm very worried now that the Jets signed Trevor Siemian. We should be terrified. Now, Giovanni, I want to tell you something. That's the first step they finally took. Remember, I told you that they're not going to bring in a veteran because then that veteran would be the people that everybody would cry for. If you sign Matt Ryan or what was the other guy that was out there? Not Carson Wentz, right? If you sign those two guys, right, or even a Ryan Fitzpatrick, you sign those three guys. The second that Zach throws a bad pass, which will be within the first 60 seconds of the game, because he is just absolutely terrible, the crowd is already against him. They're already calling the Jets irresponsible for not making a move at quarterback. So the Trevor Siemian thing and putting him on the practice squad, okay, is the first step to the next step of finally replacing Zach Wilson. Eventually, they will have to. Do you know why? Because Robert Saleh is going to have a real problem with the defense. Because eventually the defense is going to say, F you, dude. Okay? F you. You are doing nothing to help us out on offense. There are quarterbacks out there. This kid can't play, can't lead us, can't win. We're killing ourselves out there, limiting teams to a few points, and you don't do your part to go find somebody that can at least move the ball a little bit. So in order for him not to lose his defense, and then the defense lose confidence in him and the front office and not believe in what they're doing, that move with Trevor Siemian is the initial move before you make that next move of a veteran. That tells me that Zach has maybe 1 to 2 more weeks left. If he does not show drastic improvement, they will go and get the veteran. Trevor Siemian will get elevated, and Zach will go to being relegated to being the third guy. That's what's going to end up happening. Siemian is nothing more than a backup. You do not start Trevor Siemian. He is a bad quarterback, okay? He's not good enough to be a starter anywhere in this league. So that tells me you're starting to groom your backup to learn your system. So that way, when you do get a veteran, those guys will make a quicker transition. So you'll start them, and Siemian will end up getting elevated as your number 2. Because the second you bench Zach and make that change, you will never be able to go back to him again this season. In fact, I don't think you will ever go back to him again. The next time Zach Wilson is benched will be the last time he is benched for the New York Jets, will be the last time he wears a starting uniform for the New York Jets or throws a football for the New York Jets. So what you saw with Trevor Siemian is the precursor to them bringing in a veteran quarterback in the next week or two. And it'll happen. Guarantee you. Let's see what else. Excited to see if the Marlins can secure a wild card spot. That would be amazing if they do. Oh, who do you think gets the first loss? The Niners, Eagles, or the Dolphins? I'm going to go Eagles. Okay? I'm going to go Eagles. What the hell? I know they're going to lose to the Dolphins in, what is it, week 9, 8, whatever? Something like that. They'll lose then. Let's see. Hello, my buddy Big O. My buddy's birthday is October 4th, 1968, next Wednesday. Just want Miami Dolphins for life. Beat Buffalo, I guess is what you mean on Sunday. We all do, Jesse. That'll be my birthday. My birthday is Sunday, October 1st. So Sunday we will hopefully be celebrating my birthday and a win with the Dolphins over the Bills. That'll be really cool if we can do that, because I mean, think about it. This weekend, we'll get to. I'll get to see you two at the Sphere on Thursday in Vegas. Saturday, Sean and I. No, Friday, I'm going to go see you two in the Sphere in Vegas. That's the first night, not Thursday. Friday. Then Saturday, Sean and I are going to go to the Canelo fight and the Charlo fight. We're going to see a world championship match. And then Sunday, we'll do the pre and post game show for the Dolphins and the Bills, and hopefully the Dolphins win. That is one hell of a weekend. We land like at 7 a.m. I just saw this one. Because we're taking the red eye. We're leaving like 11:40 or something like that. We leave at 11:40 at night on Sunday night. So we arrive like at 7 a.m. on at the airport. Do I got to take you home? Probably. No, I ain't gonna let you take an Uber. Tried to do that shit last time. By the way, we got to your house like lightning quick, bro. Right. Yeah. We got really quickly to your house. So, Right. Right. Yeah. Right. I haven't looked at the lines overall to see what I like. Went 2-1 last week. So we'll see. I'm 5-0 with the Dolphins, and I'm going 2 more bets with that. I can tell you already. I'm taking the points, and I'm taking the money line. Dolphins are winning this game. So take the points and take the money line. Fins beat the Bills this weekend. They're ready, dude. They are ready to get it done. What's that? Saffid at 4. Saffid at 4 and Chang. Let's take a quick break. And we'll come back. 1 minute break here. Saffid Dean will join us on the other side.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Let's get the latest from the Aqua and Orange with our Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with USA Today insider Saffid Dean. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net. Here's Saffid Dean.
All right. There he is. Although Anthony Chang already popped in, like he's like not there till 4:30. He's Anthony, you're Cuban, aren't you, bro? You're supposed to be late, not early, bro. What's wrong with you? You're making us Cubans look bad, bro. Trying to show up early. That's not good, bro. It's not good, Anthony. I just want you to know. Right, Saffid? You can't come early if you're a Cuban. That's wrong.
Yo, Anthony,
We set
Anthony,
the
can you
standard.
make a call? Make a call to Portland for us real quick, Anthony, before you
Yeah,
come on.
Anthony. Yeah, Anthony. Go do something about that damn Lillard trade. Jesus Christ.
Anthony's one of my really good friends, man. We actually sat next to each other when we graduated from UF.
Okay.
So good guy. Feels like we're sitting together again right now.
Yeah, man. It's a small world, isn't it? That's
Very much so.
That's the way it is. So, how do you rate the Tua train dance? Is it a 10 out of 10?
Poor Robbie Chosen didn't get any invite for that dance routine, man. Do you see him just standing there kind of awkwardly looking like, what's going on there, man? 10 out of 10, man. I called it a Super Bowl shuffle, Big O. We got to send the Dolphins.
No, we can't do it. We can't do that. The Bears have the Super Bowl shuffle. We can't do that.
It's a new day in age. It's a new day here in Miami. The
Dolphins
are 3-0.
I like
Train's cool. It looked like a Super Bowl shuffle to me, man. That's how they're going to shuffle.
Oh, no, there's no doubt it was a Super Bowl
all the way to Las Vegas.
No. You're not lying that it was a Super Bowl shuffle. It's just I don't want to steal the Bears line. You know what I mean? So it's
sorry, man. It's the remix. It's the remix.
You know, but Tua train. There's nothing wrong with Tua train.
No, not at all. Tua time. Tua train. Tua Hawk. You know, we were 2-0 last week. You know, now we're 3-0. I guess I don't know. But look, man.
Yeah. Okay.
3-0. I like it.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. When you look at this team this week going up against the Bills, the challenge of the Bills, some people are worried that the 70 points might be a letdown. I think there is zero letdown for this team after everything they went through last year. And with the Bills specifically, I think this team is going to be as jacked as it could possibly be for the Bills. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, they better be. They better be jacked for us.
Well, they better be.
But I think they will. They will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if it was any other opponent, it'd be a letdown. But this is the opponent. This is the one thorn in their side the last, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right? Like
the Josh Allen years.
Seasons. The Josh Allen years. Yeah, since like 2018, since he's been here. Look, they got the one last year here in Miami. Yeah, but, was it a good feeling back then? Sure. Doesn't feel good anymore when you go to Buffalo twice in the last year and still lose to them, right? And you just feel like the last couple of times that they played Buffalo, the last 3 specifically, they just feel so much more closer, right? They feel so much more closer. There was that 30-point beatdown in Buffalo to the end of I think Tua's first season. And that one was deep in the chest. Like if you didn't feel that one, I don't know what you're feeling. But the Dolphins have come really far from that point. And this is the year where they showing the NFL who they are and what they're all about. And this is the week where they're going to go into Buffalo and show the Bills who they are and what they're all about and try to take back the division from them. Buffalo's been the division champs for the last 3 years, I believe.
Yes.
And deservedly so. They've had a great ship running. They have a Super Bowl window that's been open. And, I believe the Super Bowl window has been closing, the last 2 years specifically. Brian Daboll left a couple years last year to go to the Giants. Leslie Frazier's not there this year, their defensive coordinator. He's taking the year off, I believe. The Bills have looked good the last 2 weeks, put up 38 and 37 points against Vegas and the Commanders. But this Dolphins team ain't those two teams. This Dolphins team is, number 1 in the power rankings. We saw Stephen A today, number 1 in our rankings that we had after the game, Big O. This is a huge, huge test for the Dolphins. This is a match between 2 top 5 teams right here. And this is everything for Miami. I don't know if Buffalo's ready for what's coming in for them because it's going to be a very, very different team that they're used to seeing.
Were you quoting Stephen A?
No. I was mentioning that he had them number 1 as well.
Oh, well, he doesn't really know anything about football, so I don't know about that one.
Same as us, man.
Yeah, no. Same I forgot at 12 years old more about football than he knows right now, currently. Okay. He is as a big a joke as there is. Stay in basketball, stay out of football. He doesn't even know who's playing at times. He doesn't even
Yeah.
know who's actually lining up at times. It's amazing. I get it. He's got to make a lot of money, so he's a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Got to use him all over in ESPN. God bless
Mhm.
you. Bro. You're making a ton of cash, but man, he says some foolish shit when it comes to football. All right, so the offensive did you see Tehran come out of it good?
Yeah, from what I saw from the the replay I just kind of watched, he looked good and he looked like he was moving well. There's some plays specifically where the Dolphins have somebody in motion, whether it's a tight end or receiver, and they're supposed to block the edge rusher, and the left tackle is supposed to move up into the second level and block somebody else. Tehran was making those blocks in the game. And, Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert were scoring touchdowns in the game because of it. So Tehran looked like he came out really well after that. Looks back to normal, close to 100% as possible. You and I were talking about this last week, whether Tehran should play or not. I'm glad they got him in and got him some action because they're going to need him a lot more this week against Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
So right now you're hoping that Tehran can stay relatively healthy. Relative is the right word. He's going to have some nicks and bruises along the way. They might either limit or, keep him out of practice for a day or two, maybe a vet day, and limited him the rest of the practice week going on for the rest of the season. I mean, there was a point last year where he wasn't even practicing at all and just playing. So hopefully he's not at that point. But because he practiced and they went through everything, that's why the Dolphins were like unstoppable last week. And so I really hope Tehran's still practicing in some kind of fashion. But he did look good.
Somebody says that they said to call it the Legion of Room.
The Legion of Room. Yeah, they are going so fast.
Somebody sent me on Twitter, because I can't take credit for it, but I don't have a problem with this. The greatest show on surf.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Raheem Mostert surfs every touchdown he scores. It's a great play on words.
They are Dolphins, so the greatest show on surf. And we are in South Florida and all that. Although some guy says he has a property in Tallahassee on the beach for sale. I had no idea that Tallahassee was on the beach.
It's not on the beach. It's not on the beach.
It's not?
It's not on the beach. The beach is like an hour away.
So are you saying that he's lying that Tallahassee's not on the water?
Yes, it's not on the water.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Yes.
What'd you see in Liam Eichenberg? Because Connor Williams obviously got banged up, and I watched it myself a little bit. He had a couple high snaps.
Yeah.
But they weren't bad snaps. They were just a little high. Although I got to tell you, Tua has become a master of handling the high snaps from Connor and Liam. But I was impressed overall with Liam's responsibilities as a blocker after the snapping. So your thoughts on what you saw from Liam Eichenberg, because he might be needed.
If you're a player in Liam Eichenberg's position, you would hope that he would perform the way he did, right? Coming off the bench, you were a prominent draft pick. You lost your starting job that you had a year ago. You have to move positions pretty much. They started moving you at center because you could provide some depth there. And at him, he's like, this is an opportunity for me. I'm going to try to take advantage of it. He did. There were some high snaps, not too high, nothing that got over Tua's head.
Not crazy.
It was enough for Tua to put his hands up and catch it, and it didn't disrupt any timing at all.
No.
For one thing, Tua's done a really good job of kind of it's hard to say, but it feels like Tua's not really losing his poise when the snap is a little high or a little too low. It felt like that, at times maybe in the Chargers or Patriots game, but he was okay last week against the Broncos when Eichenberg did snap it a little high, but you got to get up to the second level and make some blocks in this offense. Eichenberg was able to do so. And, there's some opportunities that he could probably play this week. I'm not sure how well Connor Williams is going to be this week, but it's something to watch for sure. And it's good to have somebody who's capable. It's good to have somebody who didn't mess up. And those are all positives because we did see Connor Williams have some down moments the first 2 weeks for sure.
Don't forget, folks, to smash the hell out of the like button while you're watching. Is Tua Tagovailoa the strongest, the most mentally tough athlete you have covered in pro football?
He's becoming the most mentally tough, yeah, for sure.
I mean, you come into the league with a coach that hates you, fans that didn't want you, people that criticize you all over the league. Media a lot of the media were really wrong on Tua and they were slamming him for this, that. They called him fat this offseason. They, I mean, just it doesn't end, dude. Like there's always something that he's dealing with, and yet every time he comes back and sticks it right in your face, dude.
Yeah, Tua is really polarizing, and I'm trying to still figure out kind of why.
Right? Right?
Yeah, Tua reminds me a little bit. You don't hammer me for this. A little
I know
bit
you're
like
about to say Russell or Tebow.
yeah, it's Tebow. The thing is with
Polarizing.
Tebow's faith was just very
Polarizing.
abrasive for some.
Right.
And not to be wrong about being faithful or anything like that, but
No, but we get it. We get it. It's understandable.
yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
Tebow was abrasive in that sense, and or so much of a darling in that sense as well. Back in those days, I was at UF during that time, so you couldn't tell me nothing about Tebow for sure. And when he was in the NFL, obviously really bad as a quarterback for sure.
Right.
Didn't have a great windup, but was able to win you some games. He was a player that you wanted on the field. Couldn't throw, but he was a player you wanted on the field. Tua is a player that's kind of the opposite here. His life completely changed when he threw that touchdown pass, against Georgia in the national title game. Overnight, it changed overnight. The cameras were on him. He was the media darling. He was a superhero in Alabama. He's a big college star, just like Tebow was. Maybe not bigger, but just as big, and so when you have that kind of hype and everything around you, everybody looks for ways to pick you apart. It's kind of what we do in the draft process for sure. And he was coming off the hip injury, which didn't help him at all. You remember watching the Tua documentary that he made, and he's watching ESPN, hearing everybody talk about him and how is he going to come back, this and that. Similar way like Jalen Ramsey's on Twitter reading everything about how he's supposed to come back earlier and this and that. Players are really affected by the things that you say about them, and it's just more ammunition for everything. Now, Tua definitely has taken some time to get some thicker skin. It's gotten thicker after dealing with Brian Flores the first 2 years. And it definitely had to have a certain kind of reset after last season because of the concussions. We were obviously all worried about his health, but we all brought up the fact that, is Tua going to be retiring or thinking about retiring? That's something to think about as well. I had a one-on-one with Tua along with some other reporters before the season. And he was very adamant about how his wife and his child have helped him kind of take the next step in, being a man and growing up. And it was a really refreshing side of Tua to see. It feels like Tua opened up a little bit more. It feels like Tua kind of understands a little bit more, maybe, which he didn't really understand before, that, the media attention is the media attention. It's something that he's going to have to deal with. It's something he's been dealing with. It's hard to tell a 19, 20, 21-year-old kid who's in college, to deal with it in this sense when he's a celebrity overnight and you don't know how to deal with it. You don't know how to deal with people picking you apart left and right, just as much as people are smiling in your face and wanting your autograph and things of that nature. So Tua's really matured, man. And the Dolphins have put some really good things in place, mainly Mike McDaniel and mainly Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, to really help him feel comfortable and open up and be his own player and really shine and do the things that he does best, because the coaching staff before him didn't do that for him at all. So it's a really big evolution, man. He has become a lot more resilient, yes, but it didn't just happen overnight for sure. But he is very, very resilient.
Yeah, man. I've been impressed because there's a lot of guys that would already folded the tent that they're picking on you for every little thing that goes on out there. Earlier in the show, you see Joe Burrow taking a beating, right? And I said, well, this is the interesting part about Mike Brown now. Okay, so you paid your quarterback. Are you going to pay for everybody else that you need to put around this guy? Are we going to see another Andrew Luck situation? That kind of stuff. Because it ain't easy being a quarterback in this league and taking a beating. And now you look at this kid. This kid took a beating for 2 years, mentally, physically, all that. And maybe David Carr might have been a good quarterback. He might have been as good as his brother Derek Carr, but we never found out because you didn't put the stuff around him in order to be successful. And it's funny because remember how people used to complain? I'm sure they've done it to you. They send you an email and say, oh, why? Does Tua need a perfect team in order to play the game? No, dude, everybody needs a perfect team in order to play the game at a high level. You better have a defense. You better have a running game. You better have, a real front office, a head coach, all those kind of things. And to me, that's the interesting part because you look at the first couple of years, Tua didn't have what he needs. You start looking at Joe Burrow now and you start wondering, does he have what he really needs to succeed when you're watching him take that beating? And that it doesn't matter who you are, bro. You're going to need help in order to succeed. And you got to be mentally tough about it.
Yeah, definitely. Look, Joe Burrow obviously he's needed an offensive line like all 4 years he's been in Cincinnati. That's been known. They've done things to try to help with signing other players. They just got rid of Lilo Collins, who was a big guy they were expecting to help. And obviously dealing with his calf injury. I was not comfortable watching him last night, but good for him on coming out. But he's got the best receiving core in the NFL. And I'll put the Dolphins second because they don't have a third guy like Tyler Boyd. I think for the Dolphins and specifically, I've got the same emails. Who's a better receiving core than the Bengals?
No, that's good. That's good. With the Tyler Boyd thing, I have to give it to you there. I think Miami's deeper, actually. But
yeah,
might
conversation for another day.
Yeah, no, but you're right. They're the better starting unit. Yeah,
I take them. I think Tyler Boyd's probably one of the best slot receivers, sure. But going back to Tua and needing everything perfect around him. Look, Tua was asked to not turn the ball over, and be smart and manage the game, right? Ryan Fitzpatrick was a 18-year veteran. How many years he's been in the league, and not concerned about job security. Every game he's playing is like his last, so he's going to make the tight window throws to Gesicki and to Devontae Parker because he's not scared to turn the ball over. He's not scared of the repercussions of that. Tua wasn't making those kind of throws, right? He wasn't supported to do so. And you look at the players that he played with in Alabama, they're not what they were in Miami. Devontae Parker gets like the least separation of anybody in the league. The same with Gesicki too. He's a slow runner at the start, but he gets faster, I guess, as the stride lengthens. But that's why Jalen Waddle was such a huge weapon for him when he got here. And that's why Tyreek Hill has been so dynamic for him too, because the space is open and Tua knows how to throw people open as well too. So yeah, the Dolphins needed to, and they knew they needed to create and get the pieces for Tua to succeed, and they have. And now it's all about going up to Buffalo this week and really making it happen, man.
All right, what do you got going on in the USA Today so folks can check you out, my friend?
Yeah, it's a football podcast coming up later today. Check us out. We talk a little bit about the Mike McDaniel not kicking the field goal. We talk a little bit about the Cowboys and how bad the Broncos have been, and a lot more too. I'll be at Inter Miami tomorrow night to see if Messi will play or not in the U.S. Open Cup final. I don't think he's playing like the rest of the MLS season, to be honest, but we'll see how much he plays there. And, as always, I'll be here with you, Big O. Looking forward to talking to you on Friday and after the game on Sunday.
I appreciate you immensely. And, hey, man, they played well the other night without Messi, and that was a huge tie for them. So I was proud of them because Orlando City really wanted to put a smackdown on Miami. You can tell that they were jacked for it. And those kids came to play, man, and they even benched Busquets. I was really proud of the youngins getting it done. Follow him on Twitter at Saffid_Dean. Catch his work there at the USA Today. Saffid, as always, thank you, my friend. We will catch up on Friday.
My pleasure, man. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir. Saffid Dean and our BaptistHealth.net/ortho. Miami Dolphins report.
The Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Dolphins report with insider Saffid Dean is brought to you by Baptist Health of South Florida. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net.
All right, we're back, baby. And so is Steve Calabro. Yes, sir. General manager here at Hialeah Park, home of the loosest slots. Yes, you want some loose slots? We got them here. Okay, not sluts. That's in Vegas. All right, they're walking all around there. Here we got the loose slots, and we're in the second floor poker room, which captain's chairs. The ladies will bring you drinks and food, all that good stuff. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Now,
feeling great. Listen, you talk about loosest slots. I was talking to a customer. New customer came in Friday.
Okay.
Brand new guy, heard about the loosest slots. His buddy of his told him. He's from Boca Raton. He drove all the way down. He goes, I heard this place unbelievable. Loose. I'm standing in the this was not planned. I'm standing downstairs in the slot area. It happened to be in the higher limit slot area.
Right.
And I look over at one of our customers who I happen to know a little bit about in the last week. So I asked the gentleman, I won't say his name. I says, so tell him how you're doing in the last couple of days. The customer stands up and he goes, talks to the new customer and says, well, last Wednesday I hit for 124,000 jackpot. The next day I hit for 51,000.
Oh God.
Now, mind you, he was a high limit player.
Right.
He is a high limit player and he's playing hard, but I can tell you back to back jackpots like that.
That's pretty nice.
That's pretty strong. I'm telling you, this is mathematically, it's hard to argue with math. It's the loosest slots. Okay. Yeah. I mean, so when we it's what we provide.
Well, you're really following the Dolphins because they have the loosest offense in the NFL. Back to 70 points.
No. I disagree. I don't disagree. I want to say it a little differently. The Broncos have the loosest defense in the NFL.
Yes. Yeah,
I think
that was Roberto Duran saying to
no
mas. I'm done. That's what I saw. I just saw a frustrated team and Coach McDaniel just out coaching the crap out of Sean Payton. Dude.
18 million reasons why they probably should have hired a different coach.
Yeah.
At least at this point in time. Hopefully it gets a little better for Sean Payton. I don't want to pick on Payton, but 18 million, you didn't look bad. You looked horrific.
Oh God.
I mean, it just looked embarrassing. The team gave up on you. It was now I was at the game. Big O, I was at the game. I'm in the east end zone. And the ball just kept on coming at us. Like players are running at us into the end zone. First Tyreek Hill runs in, and then over to the other side of the end zone, the guy runs in. Then at the end Mostert runs in, and then of course the Mike White, the chosen one. What a crazy name! But can I just call him Robbie Anderson? And I don't know. We all know he's Robbie Anderson / chosen, whatever. But it was wild. He was wide open. I think you could have hit him with a pass. I think you could have hit him. I'm pretty sure.
And by the way, the memes are going crazy now.
I just saw this.
You saw that?
70 points.
The Broncos have scored a total of 69 points the entire season, and Tua lit them up for 70 this past week. That is just absolutely nuts.
It was fantastic to watch. It was great as a fan. We're in the end zone. We're in the dead end gang there in the east end zone. I don't know if you know D Maniac. He's one of the greatest. He was a Hall of Fame Dolphin fan. He sits behind me, face paints, with the helmet and has the jersey and D Maniac on the back. He's been doing it since 1994. He's like, so consequently, we get on TV a lot because they zoom into him and I'm sitting in front of him. It's little old Steve with his 80s mustache and behind in front of the D Maniac, which is a great guy. His name's Roger. He's a fantastic guy. Just him and his son are fantastic. But talking about the Dodgers and talking about the Dolphins, I have a little survey that I'm doing.
Okay.
Would you have kicked the field goal?
I'm fine with it.
Would you have kicked it? It's just a survey. Nor would I.
I'm fine with it.
I will tell you something.
I think you sent the message enough as it is.
Oh, yeah. I wouldn't.
Because the message was sent, we could have kicked it. We could have put 80 on your head. We could have put 90 if we felt like it. We put in our backups in the fourth quarter, and they were routing your ass. So you don't need the 73 to send the message that you were, know what I mean?
I wouldn't have kicked it either. I wouldn't.
And by the way, like two in the press conference, well, we weren't trying to embarrass them or this and that. It might just have looked like that. Brother, you're embarrassing them when you're doing the dance at the end of the first half. You're scoring, and all five of you are doing the Tua train dance there. And that, by the way, which was the coolest touchdown celebration of all time. That right there, that's the insulting part right there.
Well, I got to tell you, the best pass that I have was the no look shuffle. That's sharp. That is sweet. That's a sweet looking play. I love it. I'm not. Anyhow, back to that. I'm doing the survey. I've asked about
And what'd you get?
I'm getting about, I think it's 50-50 would kick the field goal. Maybe a little more would, seems like more pure sports people wouldn't kick the field goal. Non-sports people, like, non-hardcore.
Fantasy footballers.
No, like fantasy. Now, I'm not even, like, for instance, my wife said I would have kicked the field goal. I mean, she's a fan and all, but I don't know if she's like, why not get the record? You know what I mean? Like, so now wait a second. In defense of my wife, I'm watching First Take the other day, and Shannon
Sharp
was right on target. He's like, I would have kicked the field goal, and he was.
Well, listen,
he was screaming it out.
The attitude of the attitude that you're professionals. You can route it up. You can run up the score. There is no running up the score in professional sports, because a lot of people feel that way. Like, dude, in college or high school, yeah, you should respect.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's kids. But if you're professionals, screw you. If you want them to, you stop them, dude.
Well, look,
stop them, and that's it. And then that's how you do it. But don't tell the other people to just get.
Look, if I'm Mike White,
capitulate.
I want to look good.
Right.
I want to tell my coach and my team that I can throw a ball. I can throw it short. I can run. I can throw a bomb. Hey, look, Robbie Chosen's open. Let me throw the bomb, right?
Exactly.
Why not? So, I mean, you can't tell a guy. Think about how unprofessional it would be if you said, don't try to score. Think about it if Mike McDaniel walked over to Mike White and said, listen, when I'm putting you in the for the fourth quarter, don't really try to score. That would be incredibly unprofessional. Right. So,
and he's never going to get better that way.
Exactly. And
he has to play the game, and they have to respect that. Let me give you a stat. The Dolphins have 130 points and 1,651 total yards through the end of 3 weeks, which is the most in the NFL since 1970.
Unbelievable.
Miami is 11-1 in games that Tua Tagovailoa has started against teams with a coach who has won a Super Bowl, including 10 wins in a row. He has won against Bill Belichick 5 times, Sean Payton twice, Sean McVay, John Gruden, John Harbaugh, and Mike Tomlin. His only loss, December 13th, 2020, to Andy Reid. And that was a really bad team in 2020.
So I'm gonna piggyback on that. That's
dude's 11-1.
Spectacular winning, winning guy. He's a winner.
There's not another quarterback in the NFL that has even a record that close.
So I'm gonna share, and this is rare that I'm talking about sports, and I'm gonna bring up my wife twice on the broadcast here. But my wife enlightened me on something. She said, I don't think the national sports media respects the Miami Dolphins. She said they always are talking about, Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys and Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. How many times we got to hear about, okay, the guy's hurt. It's been weeks. We get it. He's hurt. Maybe he comes back at the end.
No, he won't.
Whatever. He does or doesn't. But the media, the coverage for other teams, not all other teams, is excessive.
Yeah.
And her point, and when I started thinking about it, there were some examples. Like the national sports media is like sort of they're like ho-hum about Miami. Just think about what you just read.
The problem is that there's 20 years of bad highway.
Yeah.
And so until you really prove to people, they're not going to believe you in Atlanta. They're not going to believe you in Miami. They're not going to believe you in certain cities because you just haven't done anything in so long. And so I think that's the problem with that. With Dallas, they are always overhyped no matter what.
Ridiculous.
It's always like that. And then New York teams also, everything New York always gets over. Look at the Yankees and the Mets.
Yeah, they get way more coverage.
And they should have actually been way better, but they didn't live up to it.
Yeah, they both weren't even close.
But this happens all the time. We do this all the time. We pump up the Giants when it's Daniel Jones, and yet here you go. Here's Daniel Jones. And then, the Jet thing, hey, man, that was terrible luck, and who knows what would have happened with Aaron Rodgers. But it all depends on the markets sometimes, and then it also depends on your track record. And I think we weren't listen, I'm old enough to remember, we were ultimately respected when Shula was running the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were one of the marquee franchises. We were always talked about being one of the best run franchises. Every time we were on Monday night, Our Monday night record under Don Shula was some stupid-ass record that was ridiculous that he lost like twice and won 800 other times. We never struggled to be on night TV. And back in those days, it was only Monday night. And the Dolphins were probably on 3 times a year on Monday night. Okay? So we went from like the Redskins. Nobody will believe the Redskins either.
Yeah.
Yet the Redskins and the Dolphins were royalty in the NFL for
in the
many,
70s,
many
in
years.
the 70s, and
Gibbs and
Shula.
Two of the best ever to freaking do it. And so once those guys dried out in the whatever it was late 80s to early 90s for Shula, I think Gibbs was late 80s or something. It was over. And those franchises lost their whole mojo, everything, respect. And now they've got to build it back up again to get to that point.
Well, listen, they're certainly on their way to building it back up. And I can tell you, remember, I'm sure that you've covered this 10 times, and everybody in sports has covered it. But 70 points without Waddle.
I know.
Waddle's he's a bona fide.
He's a star.
He's
a number one in a ton of teams.
I mean, 350 yards passing and running.
Yeah.
So you're talking about balance attack. And it looked like
we never had with Marino.
Exactly, you never had that. But see, when I was watching the game, it looked like Mozart could get 7 yards just to be, with a little effort. It wasn't seem like he did have some great, really strong runs.
The blocking has been phenomenal.
And the rookie, come on, you're talking about that might be one of his best. Devon Achan. Achan literally had like what may be one of his. If he has a very good career, this game might be one of his best.
Oh yeah,
top
for
5.
sure. Yeah.
2 touchdowns, whatever he had. I think he had
2 receiving, 2 rushing.
Yeah, and total
200 yards,
200 yards, all-purpose yards,
240 yards, all-purpose.
I mean, it could be one of his best career days.
Yeah.
Maybe
how many times is he going to go over 200 yards?
Maybe if you go backwards and think about his college career, his high school career, it's still maybe one of his best days ever.
All I kept thinking about is all the people that kept telling me, "Hey, let's trade for Saquon. Hey, let's go get Jonathan Taylor. Hey, let's go get Dalvin Cook." And I'm like, Chris Brooks came off the bench for 9 rushes for 66 yards.
Played pretty well.
No, very well. 9 for 66.
I know. So
that is monstrous.
Well, compared to
and he runs so hard, dude.
He's gonna be
they're loaded.
But don't you think he's more?
And they were out. Jeff Wilson, who's been out since the beginning, and they lost Ahmed this past week.
Yeah, which is a shame because Ahmed was having a good year.
They used their 4th and 5th backs this week.
Yeah, and they both did very well.
Because Wilson's their number 2 and Ahmed's their number 3.
Yeah.
Achan is really their 4th. Now he's climbing up now, but he was their 4th, and Chris Brooks was their 5.
And I got to tell you, I'm going to go stand corrected. I was on the Dalvin Cook bandwagon, the bandwagon there. I was like, oh, Dalvin Cook,
I
told South Florida
you all.
guy.
Don't need him.
He was a power guy, but I thought it would be good to have some kind of power guy.
But once you got Brooks, you kind of got your power guy.
So I'm going
a lot less.
I'm going to ask you another question. I'm going to go different direction, but about power. And what makes me think about it is, that 1 yard gain on when you're on the 1 or 2 yard line, or when you're trying, it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, right? So why is it that the Eagles have mastered the push, the 1 yard push, and other teams?
No, their line.
The other teams are struggling with it.
No, they don't have his line. They don't have their line.
I guess.
No. There's no guess. The push that the Eagles get, you have to give them love. Them in San Francisco,
unbelievable.
They have the most physical line in the NFL.
I mean, you get 1 yard just by any one of us could get 1 yard in front of
anybody, because you can't beat them up front.
It's quite amazing. Like other teams are struggling because they're trying to copy.
Nobody can do that.
I guess you need
San Fran can do that.
Yeah, a few teams.
San Fran's the only one that can do that. San Fran and the Eagles they have these physical lines.
Yeah, the monsters in the.
You just got to give them credit, and they're smart, man. They're smart. The freaking Eagles draft a lineman every year. That's what I'm hoping now the Dolphins do starting this year. Every other year for a quarterback, but now I want you to get a lineman every year now.
So do you think that the push play will be analyzed during the offseason as illegal? Because there's talk about
Push play. What do you mean?
That 1 yard push.
No.
They're saying that they don't want. They're saying there's some owners that don't like the fact that the back is pushing the quarterback into the front. They're saying they might they might make that play illegal.
Whatever.
The push, you can't push your guy in the back.
They've been doing that for.
They've
been doing. Linemen do that all the time.
All right, so you don't think it's going to be a rule change?
No,
all right, good.
Linemen have been doing that forever. People always push their guys with momentum. That has been going on. They do it in college.
Yeah,
they do it in
that's
college.
what it is.
They do
That's
it in
my
the
point.
NFL.
So they might change. Anyhow, so the other thing about the Dolphins that I just want to mention is we just have to be careful because it's a little high right now. I mean, it's a lot high.
Yeah,
and it's 3 games.
No, but they're fine. The Bills are. They got to beat. They know they have to beat the Bills.
No, the Bills are an important game. Then they got the Giants, and that will be a game they should.
That might be.
Yeah, but they should win against
no.
the Giants. It's
yeah,
home.
Yeah. No, but I thought you were talking about maybe a letdown. Like, you're
could be.
Yeah, that could happen. It won't happen this week. It will not.
No, there won't be a letdown against Buffalo.
No.
And
they know they have to get over this hurdle to dominate this division. In order to win this division,
you got to beat Buffalo and New England.
Yeah, no, New England. No,
well, in the old days, in the old days,
right. But for Miami, that's not an issue anymore. It's Buffalo's the only hurdle that's left for them. New England's not even a hurdle anymore for anybody, not even for the Bills.
No, they were though.
The Jets might be. Hell, the Jets beat them even without a quarterback. This guy's lost. He's done. Belichick, he's done.
Well,
he'll never win again, bro.
No, I'm not saying he's gonna, but he's just gonna ride it. He's gonna try to get the most wins. He's gonna try to hang out for another 2-3 years to get. If he gets 8 a year, he'll probably beat Shula. Yeah, beat Shula, right?
Yeah,
he needs to hang out 3 years.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy will keep him around for 3 years.
But what about
it's not good football what's being played out there.
Staying with the AFC East, so I'll only touch on this and I'll let you go here. But Zach Wilson, Zach Wilson is he
he's done?
I mean, why are they? What?
Well, no, wait a minute.
What would you do?
I just explained it right now. They just signed Trevor Siemian.
Oh, they did from Denver.
And they put him on the practice squad. This is the initial move to them bringing in finally the veteran. They haven't brought in the move. I already know exactly why they haven't done it. You don't bring in, the Matt Ryans and the what's the other choker? Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
you don't bring
Pennington. He said Pennington said no though.
No, it might be maybe Fitzpatrick, but but you don't bring those kind of guys in because the second you sign them, the first bad pass by Zach, everybody goes.
The fans are going nuts,
shit crazy. Bench him. The media goes crazy. Go start Matt Ryan. Be responsible. So that's why they haven't put it. So the shadow isn't looming over him. Today, by signing Trevor Siemian, that tells me you're now going to start the process of, okay, let's start grooming Trevor to be our backup. And so he can get to know the offense and get comfortable. And the next week, if Zach doesn't show drastic improvement, I guarantee you Zach gets benched, becomes the number 3 quarterback, because once you bench Zach this time around, it's over.
You got to get rid of him.
He'll never
get whatever you can for him and go away.
No, there's no getting. It's
whatever. I mean, get rid of him.
It's cutting and cutting losses. But you're going to have to part ways. So they just signed their backup quarterback right now. So this kid, if he doesn't show drastic improvement, I guarantee you, he will be cut next week or the week after. They will sign a veteran, and the veteran will become your starter, and Trevor Siemian will become your backup. Money in the bank. Watch.
Who's going to be the veteran though?
Matt Ryan or what's that guy again?
Carson Wentz.
I keep forgetting Carson
Wentz. Wentz
Joker. I know
he had 15 good games, then he fell apart. He got injured, and it was over with.
Right.
His career ended. I mean, basically.
Right. But there's nothing else out there, so you have to sign that, and they're still better than the kid. The kid cannot play. He cannot play.
Well, look, I'm not defending Zach Wilson because he's not defensible, but he was the number 2 pick.
Doesn't matter,
and it seems like nobody he doesn't do anything to. There's something weird, like the players don't like him, like the other players don't.
Steve, I've covered this game forever. The second the guys in the locker room know you can't help them, brother, you're like a cancer to them.
Yeah, man, that's what's happening right now.
Remember, these are the same guys that wore the Mike White shirt.
Yeah, Mike F. and White.
Right.
You know?
All right. So what do we got going on here
yes.
at
All I'm
Hialeah's?
saying is Thanksgiving weekend, we're giving away the Bronco. Giving away the Bronco. But you earn the entries.
Have you seen OJ playing any of the machines?
I'm going to make
Be
sure.
careful there.
I'm going to make sure we get a white one. But
oh no, then for sure he'll be here.
You earn entries all of October, all of November, and it's going to be a great, going into a great season.
We got to sign up because that Bronco would be a pretty good big old radio show vehicle.
Yeah. Now the only thing is, I'm going to confuse the thing even more. I asked my marketing guy, "Are you sure we're going to be able to get a Bronco? Because there's a big strike going on right now, and it's at the Bronco plant."
Yeah.
Now, Gus Machado is our Ford guy. He's a great guy. Victor,
good people over there.
Great. Victor's the boss over there, and he does a fantastic job. He's assured us we're going to get a Bronco.
Okay.
Because I got worried because the Bronco factory was one of the 3 factories closed. Yeah. We announced a Bronco, and they closed the factory. I mean, come on, that's you can't get any better luck than that.
Crazy.
Anyhow,
so you got it. Come on out here, October, November. Play the slots, the loosest slots in town. Get your entries in there. Get yourself in there to get a Bronco. They've given away an Alfa Romero, a Mercedes, given away a Ford Lightning, and now they're giving away a Bronco. So get on down here to Hialeah Park, October and November, so you can play the loosest slots in town. Steve, as always, thank you, my brother.
Thank you, boss. Take care, Big
You're
O.
the best. You got him. You didn't bring me any picks again from the wise guy?
He told me him, and I didn't get to.
We went 2-1 this week, but
he. This is what he told me. This is what he told me.
Oh,
it's early.
Tuesday.
It's early, right?
Tuesday, yeah.
But he told me, he goes, "Did you?" And I did not. Your viewers are gonna hate me now.
Why is that? No,
he told me that he sent 4 picks last week, and he hit all 4.
Oh,
wow! Now I didn't. I don't have that text. I think the Jersey guys lost it a little up in Jersey. I don't know. It has been some bad weather up there. Maybe the wind's blowing him around a little, but now he's bragging about how he's 4-0. I said, no, you're not 4-0. I didn't get that text. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm 5-0 with the Dolphins.
Oh, listen.
First 2 weeks, I either took the points or laid the points and took the money line on both. Then last week I didn't do the money line. It was crazy, but I did lay the points. I laid 2 bets on the Dolphins. I took them -6, and the day of the game it went down to 5.5, and I doubled up.
Yeah, so I bet them. I had to give 6, right?
Yeah.
So that was kind of sucky. But I was. This is really.
Yeah, but you only won by 54. What a shame.
Well, yeah. No, but the worst thing was I usually bet the game and the over or the under, and I was gonna bet the Dolphins and the over. I said, I don't know, 48. It's a little high, right? They score 90. Okay, so what do I know? Maybe the Jersey guys, the only hope I got. But next week I'll have the Jersey guy fixed. Take care,
Steve,
man.
Much love. You're the best, brother.
I know.
Steve Calabro, baby, general manager here at Hialeah Park. Let's get ready to talk a little basketball. What the hell is going on with the Damian Lillard situation? Anthony Chang is ready to go with our BaptistHealth.net/ortho Miami Heat report.
Heat fans, the fast break is on. It's our Baptist Health of South Florida Heat report with insider Anthony Chang. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net. Here's Anthony Chang.
All right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. How you feeling, Anthony? How you feeling about those Dolphins?
Man, I was there. No trade happened. Remember we talked about it last week?
Yeah.
So I got to enjoy the game, and historic. I mean, I thought they were going to win, but to score 70 points and do it the way they did, that was another impressive day. Yeah, I mean, how could you expect that? Another really impressive day.
I had total confidence in them. I didn't think Denver was very good. I know they played 2 tight games, but I laid the 6, and then when it went down to 5.5 the morning of the game, I doubled up, and I think these guys are going to rout them. Not that kind of route.
Yeah,
I said in the pregame that they're going to win by 10, at least.
Okay. Yeah.
So I thought that they would win comfortable.
That seems reasonable. I knew they were going to be good this year. Obviously, they're very talented. They were good last year, except for injuries.
Right.
But it's still hard for me to comprehend what's going on. I mean, again, the Dolphins haven't won a playoff game since I was 12 years old. Like, this is just, I've never seen this before.
I say this all the time. My favorite Dolphin fans are the young fans like your age.
Yeah.
Because you guys have never seen anything and you're still fans. And that's impressive. You know, dude, I saw the 70s. I was a kid. I was 7 and 8 years old when they won the Super Bowls. But then I finished out those teams, and then I saw the Woodstock and then the Marino teams. And so I've had good Dolphin years, but like people your age, you've had no Dolphin years, bro. You've had no success. You've had nothing. And I'm amazed at people like you all that are fans. You know what I mean? I mean, hell, the Dolphins this week scored like I don't know, like a Knicks Heat game of the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, in the 70s and the 80s.
The best memory I have of the Dolphins probably is going to Naples because the game was blacked out with their last playoff win against the Colts.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Lamar Smith. Was it his name was Lamar Smith, the running back?
Yeah, Lamar Smith. Yeah.
Or the touchdown overtime.
200 yards.
Driving to Naples with my dad to watch that game because we couldn't watch it here. It was blacked out, and that was their last playoff win. So it's cool to see. It's cool to see, you know, obviously how good they are and all the love they're getting around the country.
Yeah, man. It's a lot of fun, and it's been needed for a long, long time because now that's the nice thing that we see Inter turn the corner. The Panthers are obviously already good. Dolphins get back on track. I think Mario is taking the Canes, you know, in the right direction. All we need is the Marlins to kind of make a real commitment to winning. It's funny, you're the only one that's been, you know, you and Ira and everybody else, Tim Reynolds, whoever that's been on. You guys are on the one beat that's, you know, always money, dude. You know, there's usually good things going on that
consistently. Yes, it's not a 1 year. It's not a 1 year here, 1 year. It's consistently. They're always competitive and looking to win a championship. It might be like 1 or 2 years where you didn't think they had a chance, but other than that, entering a season, you always think they have a good chance of at least making some type of playoff run.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. So what is the latest on the Damian Lillard trade? What are you hearing? Because they say there's some talk, but I don't know what the talk is.
There's a lot out there, right? It's getting louder as camp nears, like we all expected, right? The noise has gotten a lot louder this week. As of last night, the Heat and the Blazers have still had very limited contact. Communication has not been good with them. It's not that they haven't talked; they've talked, but nothing substantial really in the last few months. It's not that the Heat don't know what Portland wants. It's not that Portland doesn't know what the Heat is offering. They both know where each other stands. They've made it known what they're looking for, what the Heat is willing to offer, what Portland wants. It's just at this point, there's no deal to be had. And the reason for the lack of communication is both sides are operating under kind of the belief of, okay, well, come back to me when you're ready to do something different, maybe than you originally planned or than we had last talked. Will that happen over the next few days before camp? I don't know, right? It's gotten to this point now where we're 6 days before media day, and it hasn't happened yet, at least as of last night, this morning. I always said I thought a deal would be done before media day in camp and Dame would be a member of the Heat. But as we get closer and I talk to more people, I know you had Ira on earlier. My belief is getting shaken a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to happen, at least before camp at this point, unless something changes drastically in the next 5 or 6 days.
So these idiots are going to want to bring Damian Lillard to camp so we can have the Orlando Magic, Howard,
Stan Van Gundy
situation all over again. It's for real, really.
I think they want to trade him before camp and media day.
Oh, sure.
But will Toronto step up and make an offer that pleases Portland? I don't know if I buy the Toronto stuff, honestly.
Toronto doesn't please Damian. I don't understand that. I'm not understanding these conversations here with Toronto.
Well,
I think this Toronto bullshit is all coming from Portland because the Heat doesn't talk, and Damian's not talking right now. So to me, these are lies that are being spewed out there because Toronto knows he doesn't want to play for you. So why would you trade for a guy and risk $300 million for a guy that doesn't want to be with you? I just have I'm at the opposite end of you right now. I think these are all lies. I think they're pissed because they know deep down inside they have no choice. They have to make the deal with Miami, and they're trying to create some kind of a market where there is no market in the end, because I can't see Toronto or anybody trading for Damian Lillard when they know that they don't want to be there.
Yeah.
I
think that's what the Heat is banking on, right? I think the Heat is banking on, okay, we don't have, we don't agree on a deal. You want this, we want to give you this. It's not close. Find a better deal, come back to us. Will Portland go back to the Heat? That's the $1 million question. Nobody knows. Will Portland get some type of offer from Toronto and then go to the Heat and tell them, this is what we got. We're going to give you a chance to match it. We know Damian wants to be in Miami. They might not do that. We don't know. Will Toronto even make an offer?
And Miami will laugh at him. Well, go ahead, trade him to Toronto.
Yeah.
Go ahead. No problem. Go ahead. And they know that you won't be able to trade him to Toronto.
That's another. I mean, we've seen Kawhi Leonard, right? He wanted to be at the Clippers. He got traded to Toronto. They won a championship. He had 1 year left on his contract. Paul George, I think he wanted to go to the Clippers as well. Got traded to Oklahoma City. I think he played there a year or two. Then eventually went to the Clippers, just like Kawhi. They got where they wanted to go. Dame has 4 years left on his contract. Will he play? Maybe. He's a good guy. He's never made a mess of it. Will he report to camp if he's traded to Toronto? Will he play? Maybe. It's possible. But will he always want to play for the Heat? Will he always try to get to the Heat somehow, just like Kawhi and Paul George eventually got to the Clippers?
I think he raises this. I told Ira this, and I'll tell you this too. I think he ends up raising a stink, but it's in a classy way. The way he's going to do it. He's going to deliver his message because in the end, he has the approval of the public, including the Portland public, that they understand the situation he's in. They're not even hateful of it because this isn't like a LeBron situation where you didn't tell anybody and then you surprise them right there that night and surprise everybody and kind of, diss them that way. This is different. You've given them everything you can possibly give. And the fans know that their organization is the one that failed, not Damian. So Damian has the public's approval to probably go a little awry here. It won't be Jimmy Butler because that's not who he is.
Sure.
But I'm sure he's going, and the guy that may act a little bit more like Jimmy Butler might be his agent, actually.
Well, his agent's got on the record already during this entire thing and made it clear what Dame wants. And, he's doing his job, right? I know the NBA stepped in and kind of threatened to punish them, but
like I told Ira, I'll tell you, Toronto's going to call and say, hey, we want to trade for, really? You want to trade for my guy, Damian Lillard? Right. Good luck to you if that's what you really want to do. Unless you sure? He doesn't have to tell you directly, hey, he doesn't want to play for you. He can just say, without getting in trouble, well, hey, if you want to do that, you go ahead and do that, man. If you think he really is going to be happy there with you, you go ahead. And when you tell them with that inflection, they're going to go, oh, shit.
Yeah.
And they're not going to make the $300 million move. So I just have a hard time believing any of this, dude.
I spoke to somebody who wouldn't be surprised if Dame is still with Portland in camp. They think that he will definitely be. This is not going out on a limb, right? But they think really the deadline is the trade deadline. They think he'll definitely be dealt by the deadline. But they would not be surprised if he's taken, just like Kevin Durant last year. Went to camp, played almost half the season with Brooklyn, eventually got traded to Phoenix. That could be how it plays out. Well, we're going to find out soon. But the way the Heat is operating, I'll tell you right now, he has made an offer. We don't know the exact specifics of that offer, but the initial offer was expected to be built around Tyler Hero, multiple picks, fill in the blanks for salary cap matching purposes, maybe one or two of the young guys, right? Jovic or Jaquez, a salary, another salary to help make it work. But the Heat is they're being very careful because they know by acquiring Dame at 33 years old and Jimmy just turned 34, they can't deplete this roster by making this trade.
No, of course not.
It's not worth making this deal if that's what you're going to do. So their thinking is, if we're going to make this trade, the only way we can justify it is if we keep a supporting cast around these guys that allows us to compete for a championship right now, because we don't have time to build the roster up again. These guys are older. They're on the back end of their career.
Trade, bro. No, it can't be a Carmelo trade. They can't.
That's their stand. That's their stance, and they're staying strong on it. And we'll see who blinks first. We'll see if the Toronto stuff is real, right? But that's where things stand right now. As of last night, as of this morning, talks between the Heat and the Blazers, it was pretty quiet.
Well, if that's how you want to treat Dame, then that's not going to go off very well. And if you bring him back to camp, the young guys are going to see that, and they're going to go, "Wow, is this going to happen to me a few years down the line?" And do I have to then deal with this mess upstairs? And you wonder also, is it still the same owner for the Trailblazers?
I believe they're in the process of selling the team.
Okay.
Yeah, I think right now they're relatives actually who are owning the team because I think the former owner passed away.
Right.
So I think it's family members, but I think they're in the process of trying to sell the franchise.
Okay. All right. It was the computer guy, right? They used to own it?
Yes. Yeah.
I forgot his name now, and I'm drawing a blank.
Last name is Allen. I'm sorry, I drew a blank.
Paul Allen.
Yeah.
So it's still the same group. So Allen's family is basically running it.
Correct.
Okay. Because you wonder also if you had like strong ownership, strong ownership might look at this and go, "Hey, go down to Cronin's office and like, what's going on here, dude?
Right.
The hell is going on here? You know what I mean? Because this is our star. How are we going to handle this? You know what I mean? And that you don't hear much in that area, and you kind of wonder if you had strong ownership, would this be a different scenario already at this point in the offseason?
Yeah, that's the tough part, right? They seem to be in a state of transition as well with at the higher, top of the franchise. So that creates a challenge too. Like, who's calling the shots? We really don't know right now who's calling the shots, right? Because they don't have, like you said, right now, strong ownership because they're in a transitional phase.
All right, what are you working on the Miami Herald so folks can check you out on the Heat beat?
Yeah, I have a story posted this morning on the latest on the pursuit of Damian Lillard, what's happening right now as of this morning. And we'll continue to monitor that. And then throughout the week, we'll also have preview stuff, Q&As with different players currently on the roster, still on the Heat's roster as of now. And also just, breakdowns of different questions looming over the team entering camp and media day next week.
Follow him on Twitter at Anthony_Chang and catch his work there at the Miami Herald. Anthony, as always, thank you, my brother. We'll catch up on Friday.
Sounds good, Bigo. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. That is our BaptistHealth.net/ortho Miami Heat report.
The Baptist Health of South Florida Miami Heat Report with Anthony Chang is brought to you by Baptist Health of South Florida. From orthopedics, sports medicine, cardiovascular, and even cancer. Get the world-class healthcare your family deserves at BaptistHealth.net.
All right. Let's switch gears. Hour number 3 is next. And our Canes wear Miami Hurricanes report with the one and only Manny Navarro.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your Inter Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or intermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Canes Wear, the spot where Inter Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to enjoy a bye week, huh? Yeah, you got that week off, kid. How about that? All right? Is that what you're doing? Oh, you're muted. Can't hear you. Mute.
No.
We got you now. So you what do you got? What plans do you have for the bye week? Are you going to Vegas with me? What are you doing?
Try more like Legoland with my 8-year-old, Big O. That's the big party weekend that I'm getting off on Saturday. My brother is taking my godson to Legoland. He wanted to see if we can get the kids together to hang out, and so I figured why not do that on a Saturday.
It's a cool place to go, man.
Yeah. We took the kids there about 5 years ago before COVID and all that stuff happened, and they had a good time. But now they're older, so if there's no good thrill rides or they're gonna give me the on board face. I'm hoping they behave themselves on Saturday.
Yeah, it's not really a thrill ride place, it's a kids kids rides. Yeah, it's what it is. But it's good stuff there for the kids, and you know what? Good start for the Canes, dude. Back to boring football, which we've talked about in the past. They just look solid now. They look well coached. It's a pleasure to watch. What's developed overall, man. I just really, really happy with the direction, and really happy for Mario too, man.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they've gotten off to a great start, and I've been sitting there looking at all these numbers, comparing what they were a year ago to now, and they're the most improved team in the ACC, hands down. I mean, just offensively, defensively, all the categories, you go up and down the list, they're by far the most improved team in the conference. And look, they had a long way to go, right? They had a lot of room to grow, but the results are real, and I think the fact that they, like you said, they're having boring games where they're taking on teams that they should dominate, and then they're doing it with ease, I think is a very, very encouraging sign. With that said, I will say, the schedule does get tougher. There's some good teams, some good quarterbacks, offenses that they're going to face, and so we'll see how they respond when we get into league play.
Yeah, no, and that's what you want to see, dude. See, here's where you've made progress. You're now beating the teams you used to struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
100%.
So that to me is a pleasure. That's why I'm not getting too high or too low, but I'm extremely happy that you are now playing up to the potential of your talent compared to these lesser talented schools, and do what you're supposed to do. That's step one, because you weren't able to do that over the last few coaches. You have failed to actually outperform those kind of teams on a consistent basis. Now, the next step is, okay, how much have you cut the gap between you and Florida State?
Right.
Can you hang with Clemson if you end up meeting with them? That kind of stuff. Of course, when those kind of games come around, North Carolina State, those kind of games, we know those are going to be the test for Miami. But at least so far, I got to say, you've passed one test for me. You're playing at least responsible and respectable football at this point.
Yeah, and one thing I've been spending a lot of time doing is just looking at the league as a whole, right? Because obviously they play an unbalanced schedule. You've got 14 teams competing for 2 spots, and you no longer have the division path to get to the ACC championship game. So you have to be one of the 2 best, no matter what. And the thing I'll say is, look, there's some other teams that Miami has to beat, and certainly I think has to try to finish ahead of if they're going to have any chance of getting that ACC championship. One of them is Louisville. I know that's one of these games down the road. It's the second to last game of the season. It's a final home game way back, way in November. But that's a team right now that's 4-0. They've gotten off to a really good start in the conference, beating Georgia Tech, blowing out Boston College. They've got a good offense. And that's one of those teams that they don't play Clemson or Florida State. So they're kind of in position where they can only, maybe they run the table and only lose one game to Miami. Well, you can't have that second loss. So for Mario, my whole point of saying all this, is you can't let your foot off the gas pedal if you're Miami, right? Uh-huh. Because there's other teams that could be in position, no matter how great a year it turns out to be, even if you beat Clemson, even if you, handle business and only lose one game, tiebreaker here or there could keep you out of the ACC championship, and that would sour things. I think at this point, this team really wants to get to that conference championship game, and they got to play their best every week.
Oh yeah, I think you got the kind of coach that's going to keep you focused. Plus, you've accomplished jack shit. So you're not you're not a program that's arrived or anything like that. You're not even there yet. So you need to keep working your ass off to get to the point where you've arrived and you're respected. And you're back to actually being the you. You're not back to being the you yet. And, listen, we got a great example right in front of us with Florida State. They won a gutsy game this past week where I believe they did not lead the entire game until the end.
Till overtime.
Right?
Yeah.
Till overtime. That was impressive to be able to fight back, claw back for that victory. That's a really good team there at Florida State. That resiliency was super impressive this week.
Yeah. And their quarterback playing banged up, Jordan Travis with the left shoulder. He slices his hand in that game as well. Stayed focused. I mean, they were down 24-17. Clemson had the ball, and their defense stepped up and made a huge play. That's what championship winning teams do. So I'm really looking forward to that game in November when Miami's got to go up to Tallahassee. That's going to be a lot of fun. But you're right, I mean, this is a much improved football team. They're exciting to watch. They're going to be more exciting to watch here in the next few months.
I'm looking forward to it. Next up is
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Yep.
I mean, I know that they're trying to turn that program around too, but again, this should be another one of those games that you should handle.
You would think so, but I'll tell you this: one thing you got to look at with Georgia Tech and the job that Brent Key is doing there. They are also one of the most improved teams in the league. They're averaging close to 17 more points per game than they were a year ago. They're 44th in scoring. They're top 30 in yards per play. They're one of the best rushing teams in the country. They their quarterback, the transfer they got in from Texas A&M, they can put up points. Where they're susceptible is defense, and that's where you hope that this offense that Miami's got cranking right now. They got top 5 offense in a lot of statistical categories. That they just keep pouring it on, and the defense steps up and gets a few stops in that game. But I will say this for the Miami fans who think, oh, it's Georgia Tech, it's going to be easy. I would say that was one of their tougher conference games. One of the of the 8 games, I would put that in the top 4 in terms of tougher opponents.
Is Tyler Van Dyke playing better than he did 2 years ago?
Yes. Yes, he is.
His accuracy overall has been really, really good, dude. It's been incredibly consistent.
I think the difference is the decision making. He got to audible in and out of plays, out of rushing plays and passing plays with Rhett Lashley 2 years ago. But I feel like he's got an even better grasp of what they need to do on offense, right? Like just getting to line of scrimmage, recognizing, hey, there's some safety help on this side. Hey, they're bringing a linebacker from this side. Reading the defense and making the adjustments, and that just comes with time and age and maturity. And look, he's doing everything he has to do.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been really impressed with him. Colby Young, that was one hell of a catch for a touchdown. I really like what I'm seeing out of that kid because there's like a clutchness to him, and I think when you get to those bigger games that we're talking about, that's the kind of talent you're going to need in certain moments.
Yeah, no, and you're going to need a guy who can go up and make a big play, and that's what he brings you. I mean, he's 6'4", over 200 pounds, just big body length, and explosive.
He high pointed the hell out of that one, bro.
Oh, there's no question. And Florida State's got some big dudes. They've got some guys that are going to hit them and try to dislodge the ball from them. And you think about that matchup. You think about Clemson. They have legitimate 4- and 5-star, former high school recruits that are playing those positions for them and are going to make it tough on them. So you need guys in those kind of games with his gifts to deliver and make plays. You saw it at the end of that Florida State Clemson game on Saturday, right? Keon Coleman, big receiver, goes up, catches the winning touchdown, makes the plays. And so look, Mario's done the right job in terms of the body types here, right? I mean, he went out and he's the one who got Colby Young. He's the one that went out and got a Nez Cooper, who was, I think, ranked in the thousands among the high school recruits, somebody who was kind of overlooked in the state of Alabama, made him his right guard, made him lose all that weight. This building a football team is not easy to do, but Mario makes it look a little easier maybe than other people, do. And I think he's got the right ingredients in terms of body types to go into that Florida State and Clemson game and give Miami a legitimate shot to win.
Yep, I'm with you there. What do you got going on in the Athletic so folks can check you out?
Yeah, a ton of coverage on the ACC and college football and recruiting, as always. We had our first Heisman straw poll I was one of the 35 writers / editors who provided votes. I got Tyler Van Dyke on there. I'm the one who put Tyler Van Dyke on that list. I think he's playing at such a high level right now. Without him, Miami wouldn't be 4-0 and 18th in the country. And I wanted to give him a little shout out, make sure that people start paying attention to what he's doing, because I think everybody's looking at what's going on in the Pac-12 conference with Caleb Williams and Michael Penix and Shedeur Sanders and all these great quarterbacks that they have out there. Even the kid from Washington State, who are putting up ridiculous numbers, and that's where the focus is. But I think between Jordan Travis and Tyler Van Dyke, the ACC's having a pretty good year too, and those guys are playing at a very high level, helping their teams win, and so hopefully Tyler gets some Heisman consideration this year.
No live blogging from Legoland there on The Athletic?
None for me. I will be podcasting tomorrow. I will be doing a little bit of writing this week, and then I'm taking off for Legoland on Friday night.
I was looking forward to some live blogging from Legoland. I mean, filling us in on everything going on in Legoland is.
Yep. Listen, man, I wish it was a Vegas trip, man. But once you make that decision to be a father, it's a serious responsibility. What can I tell you?
That's it. Come on, bro. I'm gonna go see you two in the Sphere the first night. Come on.
See, I would love to do that trip with you, brother. I would love to go have some fun and listen to you two. One of the best bands ever, for sure.
Yeah, baby. And in the Sphere, woo! Yep. Can't wait for that on Friday. Opening night for that. And I'm going back December 8th and 9th to see them twice. Because I was already going to go for the 8th and the 9th.
Yeah.
The thing is, we Showtime has now part of our platform, so I'm going for the Canelo fight, and so the weekend is you two in the Sphere, Canelo and Jamel Charlo, and then on Sunday I'll do the Dolphins pre and post game show from Tommy Rockers, which is a Miami Dolphins bar in Las Vegas.
Wow, that's gonna be that sounds like a lot of fun, man. Hopefully. It's going to be a great weekend.
A weekend where, I'm really not working. That's the way I kind of look at it. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, man. Dan Le Batard told me a long time ago, we're all stealing money doing this job. And he's right.
Amen. 33 years of stealing money, baby. I love it. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a safe and great weekend.
You too, brother. Take care.
Thank you. There you go. The great Manny Navarro, our Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report. Hey, use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off online or in person. Caneswear.com. Order over $99 and you will get free shipping. Use our code BIG0. You will get 10% off at Caneswear.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at Caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Great commercial, man. Nice job by them. And the store is so beautiful. Really, it is. Well, there's Canes everywhere. That's why it's beautiful. And there's Dolphins, and there's Marlins, and there's Panthers, and there's Heat, and there's Inter Miami. It's my hometown teams, so it's always beautiful. Lazy lightsaber. Big O, you said a week ago that this team reminded you of the Marino years. Great QB play with no run game. Do you still feel the same after this week? No. Lazy lightsaber, what you need to do is fix your hearing. First of all, I said that 2 weeks ago, because we didn't say it last week or this week, because they actually were scoring and running the ball. What I said was in the first game of the year, okay, it felt like the Marino years because they would score and that, Tua would lead them down to score, and then the defense would give up a score right away and all that good stuff, and they were running all over them for 200 and something yards. And so it was a back and forth. And that's and the no run game. Yeah, there was no run game, but that was more by choice than anything else against the Chargers. But yes, that game did remind me of the Marino years, because in the Marino years, he didn't have a run game and he didn't have a defense. And in that game, he didn't have a running game or a defense. It's not that they don't have a running game. It's that they didn't run the ball in that game and that they didn't play defense. That's why that game was a Marino-like game. Then in the last 2 weeks, they've actually now played defense and they've run the ball. So it's a completely different team. It's a team that Marino has never had, actually, because he never had a running game and he never had a defense. So that's how I meant that it was. It wasn't that I was saying it was the Marino years because they couldn't run the ball. I was saying it was the Marino years because they couldn't stop the other team. And every time Tua would score, the defense would then match it up. And it reminded me of the Marino years where they never stopped anything. And Marino, if Marino didn't have the ball at the end of the game to have the last score, there was a good chance he might have lost that game because the defense wasn't going to hold up ever. So there you go. Big O, do you remember the Sports Illustrated issue of Marino and Kozar, a pair of aces? Do you think Frank ever watches our show? Does he ever watch the back of the wall of my studio at all? Does he see that magazine framed there in the back? Okay. You may want to look at our show a little bit more there, Frankie. I not only remember that magazine, I own that magazine, and it's framed. Okay? So sometimes when there's a whole shot, you probably don't watch the show all the time. But when there is no frame, like the EJD, and it's gone and I'm in studio, you'll look to my... What is it? This side right here? Yeah, it's this side. That I have a whole bunch of stuff. You'll see the frame right there, right next to the Eiffel Tower. You'll see Marino and Kozar. So, yes. You probably don't watch the show religiously, but it's there all the time. Let's see. It's going to be the Miami Dolphins against the San Francisco 49ers in Vegas. Marino gets his ring against the Niners. Amen. Okay. Let's see. When you have a chance after your segment with, I think my messages regarding Tua. I don't know. What was it? What did he say about Tua? Let's see. Oh, God, he's got a paragraph here. Big O show, check this out. The first 3 games so far, aside from being confident in the offense and more proficient in here, are Tua's completion percentages to start versus the Chargers, 62%, 70% completion percentage versus the Patriots, and the Broncos, 88.5%. Not only is he definitely mastering this offense, but he's getting more and more comfortable out on the field, and the game is clearly slowing down for him. He's seen every defense, and he's healthy. I don't know if he's seen every defense because he's still young, but he is confident, dude, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. I'm the guy that's not shocked by any of this. You know what I mean? There's a reason why I said he looks like Montana, and I wasn't kidding around or anything like that. I think this guy's a hell of a freaking player. And all he needed was the environment around him to get better so he can be himself. And to me, this is Tua. This is not a freak. This is not lucky. This is not some shocking revelation or he got lucky the first couple of weeks or not. This guy is a star. He's always been a star, a winner. And it's just some of you didn't want to give him that chance. And some of you did not actually take into account all the problems around him the first 2 years. Unless you listen to this show that I constantly harped on, the problems are not Tua. The problems are the coaching staff, the talent around him. That's the stuff that needs to get better. And eventually you got it better, and look where you're at now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you, man. He is comfortable, but I'm not surprised that he's playing great. I expected him to play great. I really did. I always thought he was a great player. Just needs the opportunity and the support. And finally, he's got people around him that are competent and know what they're doing so he can do what he does. He's a money player, dude. Money player. Oh, do you think Cronin is making this personal? He doesn't seem like a rational actor. You know what, Troy? I just think this guy's very irresponsible and not a competent person to do this job. That's all. He couldn't build a win around Dame. That's the ultimate indictment. He should have been fired already. He's had more than enough time to build a win around Dame, and he failed. Why would I trust him to trade and rebuild? Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Eric Bedenbaugh says they might have had a running game if David Overstreet had been killed and Sammy Smith was terrible. Yeah, but they still didn't have a great line. The right side of that line wasn't great. So we don't know. But again, Eric, if is, for losers, bro. There's no ifs. We don't know what Overstreet would have done, and Sammy Smith was a bust. So, you could try all you want, but the ifs don't fly. They just couldn't get it done. Big O, what are the next jerseys retired by the Dolphins? Not Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams doesn't deserve to have a jersey retired. He barely played here. Only played a couple of years, dude. Cameron Wake for sure. Yes. Cameron Wake, not Ronnie Brown either. Neither one of there is no running back that deserves to be in the Ring of Honor. Zero running backs. So no, it would be Cam Wake. That would be the guy. Miami 44, Buffalo 38, or 17, or 17 to 14. Can't decide which way. Oh, man. Above the tower, oh. What's above the tower? What does he mean by? Huh? The photo. Oh, yeah. It's right. Yeah, right above my my Eiffel Tower. Exactly. Yep. But you watch the show all the time. My boy there probably doesn't watch the show all the time, so he hasn't paid attention to everything that's behind me in the wall. So Flo is a criminal for what he tried to do to Tua. You called it, Big O. He was right there with you. Yep. I definitely agree with Montana, but for some reason, I've been saying this for a while. As far as accuracy, he reminds me more of Steve Young. No, Montana. No. Montana's accuracy and ball placement and anticipatory skills were so elite. It was sick. And that's exactly what Tua does. The exact same thing that Montana has. That same gift, that trait, I've watched it since Alabama. The only thing that terrified the shit out of me with that kid is his health. That's it. That's the only thing you could have been scared of with Tua. Outside of that, if you really watched him and you understand the quarterback position, you would have figured out that this guy's got all you need to be one hell of a quarterback in the NFL. Problem is, too many of you think of big arms and running, and you think that makes you a quarterback. That doesn't make you a quarterback. That just makes you an athlete that can run around. Doesn't make you an expert when it comes to actually completing passes. Yes, sir.
So there's a photo going around on X. It's all the former Alabama players that were at the game playing on the Denver Broncos, the Dolphins side. It's Waddle with the smile.
Right.
Tua with a smile. Raekwon Davis got in there. I believe that's Raekwon. And then it's Judy and Surtain. They're not smiling as much as Tua and Waddle. It's kind of, I feel like it's like a mean-spirited picture to do.
Right. But, hey, you got to compartmentalize, right? Your boys, you're meeting them after the game and say, hey, man, good game, whatever. And you got to take your lumps. It is what it is. But I'll tell you what, it can happen to a nicer guy in Sean Payton. You talk about karma. That's karma, what's going on with Sean Payton. All right, we are out of here, folks. We thank Steve Calabro, as always, the Brunetti family, and as always, great supporters of our program, Saffid Dean, Anthony Chang, Manny Navarro, Sean Stanley, who masters this entire platform. We will see you all tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., before we take off to Vegas in the evening. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Beer Noob, JB bans crypto same day as they fined for Epstein, ACC. Best part, Beer Noob, we talked about already. The best part is that JP Morgan is buying a shit ton of Bitcoin in Europe. While they're banning their customers, they're stashing the Bitcoin. The greed is real, folks. And the rich and powerful want to keep you away from Bitcoin because they know where it's going to end up. Okay? And when it does, all these conversations I've had with you for 3 years now, you're going to go, that dude kept telling me about it and I didn't pay attention. And you're going to pay the price for it. Trust me on that. Not a financial advisor, just a guy that loves crypto. We shall see. Dude, you are Nostradamus. You're right about the Dolphins, and you're right about Jackson. Jackson loses to backups for the Colts. He's no quarterback, and they give him all that money. Oh, well, I've been telling you he's not a real quarterback for a while.
The Sportstradamus has spoken.
What I have to do one day is bring that Tennessee writer on, Teron Davenport. Because I brought him on a few years back. Bill was with me at that time. And I remember we were at, I want to say we were at Toyota of Hollywood doing the show. I think I remember and everything. We were at Toyota of Hollywood. And, you know, he was covering, he still covers the Titans. But he was convinced that Ryan Tannehill was a franchise quarterback. So I had a field day with that one. And then we talked about Lamar, and I told him neither one of those guys are real franchise quarterbacks. And he basically told me that I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to quarterbacks, you know. So I already spoke to him once because he was on a national gig, and they invited me on that show. And I said, "Oh, Teron, I haven't seen you in a while. So how are you about Ryan Tannehill?" And he was like, "Yeah, you were right about Ryan Tannehill." And then at that point, he still thinks I was wrong about Lamar Jackson. Like a lot of people, especially down here. Why? Because Lamar is what? The local kid. You know, and then we get all the emotional people about the local kid. Lamar Jackson is a fantastic young man. Fantastic athlete. He will never be a great passer. Ever. He'll never be a great quarterback. Ever. He'll never be a franchise quarterback. He'll always be a phenomenal athlete. That's basically a running back. That's where Bill Polian had it wrong. Bill Polian called him a receiver with the ball in his hands. Lamar Jackson is a running back with the ball in his hands. Okay? Reporter tried to ask him this past week after the game about all the inaccurate passes. And, you know, he tried to laugh it off, and that's the problem with him. And you could go look at the game. Ball placement is never there. Anticipatory skills don't exist. It's just the way it is with him. It's never, he's going to wow you every once in a while, and he'll come up with a game in the next couple of weeks that people will put up on highlight reels and all that. And then the lazy people will tell you, oh, he won the MVP. That doesn't mean anything, bro. Doesn't mean anything. He got hot one year, no big deal. It doesn't mean he was actually a really good passer. And there's a reason why he chokes every time in the playoffs. Because he cannot beat a real quarterback on the other side. And last week, he lost to Gardner Minshew. Because he could not finish the game, just like with Tua last year. Tua's coming back from 21 points down, and all he needs to do is lead his team down for another score to kind of seal it, and he can't ever do it. And every time Tua comes back with another touchdown, and the guy can't answer. Why? Because he's not a real quarterback. And they got him weapons this year and all that, and people talk shit. It doesn't matter, dude. You can get him all the weapons you want. He doesn't have accuracy. And by the way, as I've said before, Josh Allen did not prove me wrong because he's still not accurate. You know, I thought I was wrong that he improved his accuracy. He has not improved his accuracy enough to be, you know, counted on a consistent basis. He has some clutch gene in him at times. He'll make some plays because he's a great athlete, but he's not a great passer. On Sunday, the best passer in Orchard Park at 1:00 will be Tua Tagovailoa, not Josh Allen. Okay? And as for Lamar Jackson, he will never, ever be a great passer. And by the way, you're right. That contract will turn out to be one of the worst contracts ever. Because as I think people will eventually catch on to what I've already known for a long, long time about Lamar. Fantastic young man, freakish athlete. Never, ever will he be a franchise quarterback. We will see you all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Be good out there.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.